Warning: the voices heard in this video are made synthetically using artificial intelligence. Nothing in this video reflects anything actually stated by the real-life individuals involved. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and serious political content will be avoided for that purpose. Enjoy.
Down in the deep, where no one will hear you creep, there exists a
my
heart
life.
with a beat, and it's
given
about
us a
time we
chance
all
to
meet.
help.
Welcome back, viewers.
Good Barry Bars, brother.
Well, now that we tackled like 90% of the base game content, we can move on to the downloadable content, and since Obama hasn't gotten a DLC since Origins, he is first up.
Where are the dwarves? I was promised there would be base dwarves.
Oh, right, and George is here too.
Don't worry, George. Most of this episode will be taking on the dwarf expedition and going further into the deep roads. I just have two important errands first.
All right, he has to go and tell his wife who to stop pursuing her dreams first.
You're a braver man than I, Obama Llama. I can barely tell my wife no, let alone tell her to stop hosting tea parties and Ren fairs in my backyard. Clearing the 30 to 50 wild hogs for those fairs is a bitch, but happy wife, happy life, right?
Oh boy, Mother Giselle again. Hopefully this conversation is going to go by less controversial than the last interaction.
The fun never ends in Skyhole, does it?
Oh, believe me, as long as you think I am hilarious, my love, I can die happy.
That's what they'll say one day. You watch.
Cassandra, not only did we hear about the fact that you two are divine candidates, but we broke down the entire point system and almost broke up the band over who should be fantasy pope. Let's just say it's resolved now and take it away, Donald.
Yeah, we went under review, and due to a difference of direction, you're fired.
Wouldn't she have to be hired in the first place to be fired, though, boys? If you're going to make that joke, make it a good one, boys, and put your full D20 into it.
That's a little mean, George.
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy.
Also, this is the
would be
first
accepted.
important dialogue option here that affects the divine election. I have to not tell her she would be perfect to avoid another +5 gain.
One misclick sealing Cassandra's fate after all my dealings in
you
anime
don't want
moments
it,
would
then
be
tell them
hilarious
so.
and probably piss our viewers off more than the final season of Game of Thrones.
If that happened, I am
Surely
finding a
it
way to
was
feed
never
Harding to
meant
the
to be
eggs
like
domain
this.
expansion wolf form. I swear to God.
Chantry,
So wait, I already
the
know all
circle
about
of
Barry's
nature,
love of this girl,
the
but I am a little
Templars.
behind on the
This
lore. Why is
cannot be what
Obama
they
super
intended
against
when it all
Cassandra
began.
taking the divine chair?
Oh, that's a good point, George, and maybe some of the
Chantry
viewers are
should
confused
provide
about why I am so
hope.
pressed about this. So in the
Instead,
base
it
game, our
cannot veer
relationship
from
stays
its course,
relatively the same.
even in
However,
the
by the
face of
time of
certain
trespasser, when she is fully in her position, she will break up with us as divine,
surprised
since
to hear
according to
you, of
Chantry
all
law,
people,
she
say
can't
that.
marry or have a sexual
Oh.
relationship. So
Am I
this would
not
be a
the
bittersweet
same woman
ending
who
for our
declared the
Inquisitor's
Inquisition
story.
against
What's
the
worse is that
Chantry's wishes?
Liliana invents a
In
fix
all
for
my
this
years
if she
as
is
a teacher,
divine
I
by
did
allowing
what I
all
was
members of
told.
the clergy to
My
marry,
faith
including
demanded.
herself if she is
But
dating the
now
hero
my
of
faith
Ferelden.
demands
So
something
really the
else,
relationship only
that I
ends
see
because of a
with
skill
better
issue
eyes.
on Cassandra's part.
The Royal Robe would definitely think of the same loophole as well if it mattered to her, but we are going to find out next episode why that won't
Many
really matter.
extraordinary things
Holy
have happened to
random
get us to
glazed
this point.
Batman.
I'm not so certain. I think it has been a long time coming. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn.
All right, I know I
It
have been
needs to
plotting her
change.
downfall here for a while, but I
Perhaps
really
I
do
must
love
be
her
the one to
concept of
change.
sanctuary here. Everyone, whether it's in fantasy or real life, should have a place where they can go to when they
You're
feel
not the only
unsafe.
candidate.
And striving to make an
What about
organization
Liliana?
be that is really
Liliana
honorable.
says
Yeah,
she
it's almost
wishes
like
to
I had
follow
reasons
Justinian's
beyond petty
legacy.
bullshit to
But
elect
she and I
Cassandra for
remember a
divine. She
different
really
person.
does have some good ideas, even if the
Justinian knew
chantry
her
more or
fellow
less stays the
clerics and
same
the
under
people.
her.
Well, you
Would
certainly
only
weren't sounding that
accept so
off
much
last
change.
episode, Sleepy. It
Liliana
sounded
would
like you
cast
just
all
hated the
aside
mage hater and
start
wanted
over,
us to
I
panic.
think.
I just
And that
genuinely
would be
want
chaos
people to
for
have
us all.
freedom and happiness under their religious overlords, and
change about the
Liliana
chantry?
and Cassandra strive
The
to do
circle
that
of
in their
nature
own
has
moral
its
ways.
place,
But whatever,
but
it's
it
all
needs
water under the
reform.
bridge now.
Let
Vivienne
the
is
mages
divine,
govern
and the mages will
themselves
melt
with
under
our
her heel.
help.
You're damn right.
Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That
All right,
is
so
what I
telling
would
Cassandra
change.
here that the chantry should end will give her -1, then telling her after this to forget
Perhaps
about the
the
chantry
chantry
will give her
needs more than
-5.
just
This puts
change.
Cassandra at 9 points,
mean get
and
rid of
Vivienne
it
should be tied
entirely?
with her after uniting
I
Celine and
disagree.
Briala. But just in
Without the
case, Donald,
chantry, the
next
faithful
episode
would
you
be
can give her a
lost.
+6 boost,
The
then a
chantry must
+10 boost
simply
with a
be
war
more
table quest to
responsible in
clinch
how
the
it
win.
leads.
I never thought I would say
I
this, but I could
suppose I
kiss
should
you
not
right
be
now,
so
Optimal
concerned.
Obama.
Heavy
clerics
pause.
speak
Also,
my
I have to
name
say
for
she
now.
took us more or
Nothing
less
more.
rejecting her new
For
career
now,
goal surprisingly well. You
restoring
would think
order
she
and
would take
stopping
more issue with
Corypheus
us or make us
remain our
sleep on the
priority.
couch tonight at least.
You would think, George, but not only are we in a super healthy and mature relationship unlike certain other games, but Cassandra is also fully obsessed and in love with our elven ways.
I'm sure that probably pisses some people off, but her base Templar heart wants what it wants, and we are simply servants to the viewer's whims.
Something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
So wait, you all want that Disney girl as fantasy pope, right? Like the girl we met in episode 2? I'm looking into it online and she seems like a pretty unpopular choice from the community.
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. To do that,
Yeah, I won't blame the viewers if they are annoyed with what I am about to do. I can admit when I am being selfish, but Cassandra, please forget all about the Chantry and focus on our relationship instead. With this additional -5 to divine choice, I accept my fate, and you can take out whatever frustration you have about it on me. I really don't mind. Huma huma.
Holy mother of pearl, I was
I don't see
promised
why you
base
think
dwarves,
Chantry
and
is
instead
so
I have
worthy of
whatever
reform.
ERP nonsense is
I'm
going
not so
on in the
quick to
general
abandon
chat
it.
instead.
Or
Don't
the
worry,
principles
George, this
for
is
which
going
it
to be our
stands.
shortest wrap-up yet. And wait, hold on,
I'd like to
Barry,
ask
you're
you about
talking to
Tevinter.
someone else too?
Looks like since he made his waifu pissed, he now has to seek comfort in the arms of his magister mistress.
Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows.
Oh, hey, I
over
remember this
Manassas.
guy from episode 2 as well. Good to see he
Alright,
joined the
that one's
squad.
actually true.
I'm okay
The
with
cows
finding
didn't
out this
have
guy's
wings.
deal since he is one of the few familiar faces
Anything in
from
particular you
Veilguard,
wanted to
albeit
know?
he looks more proper and less bummy in this game
Corypheus
compared to
is a figure
Veilguard.
out of
All right, well,
Tevinter
you all
history.
came up with
He
theories
was a
why I'm
magister.
doing this, and let's
Yeah,
just say
that
George
was a
was the
different
closest.
time.
We have more
The
or less
Imperium's
exhausted
power
every
was at its
companion's
peak.
dialogue now besides
The Civil
Blackwall
War
and
had
Vivienne,
ended.
but we can
The
still ask a
Magisterium
few
was
follow-up
united.
questions
Its
here and there.
armies scooping
Dorian
up
has some of
bits
the
of
most
Phaedrus
interesting
like
lore,
candy.
since he can tell us his
Magisters
perspective on
who
Tevinter
entered
and
the Black
Corypheus.
City.
So apparently
It was a
Tevinter did a
demonstration
really
of how
shit job at
exceptional
keeping
Tevinter
records
was.
pre-Blight era, which is
But
both
who were
confusing
they?
since the robes owned everything from Ravane to
There's no
Ferelden
record of a
back then,
magister
and
named
also
Corypheus.
convenient for all the elf
All this
shit we are
happened
going to learn
1400
towards
years
the end of the
ago, before
game.
Black nearly
I'm
wiped
pretty
us
sure
out.
that's the real
There are
reason why Dorian doesn't know
Today,
anything about
people
ancient
half believe it's
Tevinter,
all
because
just
it
a
will make
story.
that little reveal we
That's what I
learned during
know.
the last main quest
We
that much
have
more of a
evidence
side
the story
punch.
is
I
very
figure
much
that's why
real.
you're asking it before your
not
next
who
episode,
Corypheus
right,
is.
Barry?
Yeah, I can't
If
lie,
he
you know me too
remembers.
well by this point,
There
Joe.
used to be
I figure
families
getting
who claimed
Dorian's
some of those
perspective now will give
magisters
us a
as their
fuller
own.
picture later on.
That
So
stopped
wait,
when
so
the
not only
Chantry
was the
appeared.
healer robe believing
Then
that the
it
Black
was
City
shaken,
story was just
and the
Chantry
families
propaganda,
distanced
but it's also a
themselves from the
popular
tale.
belief in the Blood Mage capital.
we know
So basically
is that
the healer
some men
robe
and
was
women
completely
entered the Black
Tevinter
City
pilled by the
looking
time
for
of
the
Dragon
old
Age
gods.
2.
The religious
They find?
differences in Tevinter compared to
to
previous
Corypheus,
games are for
nothing.
some reason something I am
Only
just
he
learning
could tell
about
us
now,
more.
which I find weird.
Believe me, you're not the only one, George. Also, an interesting
how
tidbit
often
here
is
is
blood
that
magic
Dorian is
used there?
implying Corypheus wasn't a magister at all, but he could have been a
Not
Joe
at all.
Random Tevinter citizen
what
who
any
made it
magister
into the
would
Black
tell you.
City as maybe a guinea
They'd be
pig or something.
convincingly
I don't
offended by
necessarily
devotion.
believe that, but it is
Of course,
possible.
what
That would be
people call black
hilarious
magic
and explain
here
the god
and what
complex he
we
has.
consider
But
black
you're right,
magic
there's
is
not
different.
enough evidence to go one way or the other. Now let's get into Donald's
What's
favorite
considered
topic concerning
actual blood
Tevinter,
magic in
blood
Tevinter?
magic.
I'm surprised Dorian didn't start bouncing off the walls like that damn bird when he
Using
hears
your own
about
blood
Cocoa
or that of a
Puffs
willing
when we
participant.
mentioned blood magic. And of course, the
problem
Magister
is
is about to
what's
play devil's
permitted
advocate
only
for
gives
blood
you so much
magic.
power.
I mean, he isn't wrong here.
What if
I
you
wish
need
there were
more?
actual examples of blood
Always
mages
need
who
more.
use consensual blood
That's where we
or
get
their
into
own blood more in this setting. Instead, we just get some bearded slaver
None of that is
asshole
done.
who offers to grind 50 elves into a blender for one stat point.
I'd argue there's still risks even in that case, although it's
Real
minimal.
blood
Meryl
magic
more or
can give
less
you an
only
edge.
used her own blood or
A
the
leg
blood
up
of willing
against your
squad
opponents.
mates, but she still
It's
attracted a
safe to
shit ton
assume
of
that any
demons
mage
towards
of rank
Sundermount.
does it.
It's more a gray
The
area.
rest are
It
quiet
creates
shit.
demon orgies one way or another. There's not much moral grayness about it. I know we were Kirkwall
the
enjoyers
Templars would
once, but
object.
it's time to get back to the
Imagine
real
they
world,
did
boys.
long ago. Once their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused.
You know, creating a world where magical use is more dangerous and morally gray is fascinating to
There
me
must
from
be
someone
some
who
mages
typically
who
writes
oppose this.
D&D stories
Of
where
course.
besides druidic magic
do.
there's literally no
I'm not
limits and
entirely
magic is
alone.
just a common and widely
Occasionally, there'll be
accepted
a
practice in the
magister who
setting.
makes
I might have to try
then
my
the
hand at
reform
looking at
talk
if the
begins.
opposite was true.
Well, I am glad you can get something out of this, George.
Meanwhile, that
That's a hidden
magister
part
will
of the
be quietly
series we all
shot.
love.
Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet.
Anyways, we have already well stepped into controversy today, so let's get into one
enjoy
more
the
and
allure
ask
of
Dorian about slavery and racial politics.
Oh, wait, let me sit up in my chair
Anyone who
here.
talks about the
Oh
Imperium
boy, something
mentions
tells me
slavery.
this is going to go way
It's the
worse
center of
than
the
the elf
slave trade.
servant conversation with Liliana in Origins.
That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it it is.
Ah, I see Dorian has the whitewashed, abridged interpretation of slavery. Good to know, my brother.
So, this guy grew up pretty privileged, huh? Like he is using the whole "it's not my slaves, it's my
slaves
family
like it that
slaves"
way?
bit. That's
Don't be
basically the
ridiculous.
same thing Donald says when he says I
like
wasn't
it.
rich, my
It's
parents
all
were.
most of them
All
know.
right.
In the
All
South,
right,
you
I know
have
this looks bad on
alienated
Dorian's part, and
sons,
that's
both
intentional,
human
but he
and
is right
animal.
about one thing
The
here,
desperate
in
have
that
no
slavery
way
is
out.
all some people
Back
know.
home,
We saw that
a
with the
man
elf
can
girl
set
we helped
himself.
take in during
As a
Dragon
slave,
Age
he
2.
could have a
Fair
position
point, but
of
that's more a
respect,
serious
comfort,
issue than what Dorian is
and
willing
even
to admit.
support.
We aren't really able to
Some
get him
slaves are
thinking
treated
about this
poorly,
till
it's
later
true.
games.
But do you honestly think inescapable poverty?
I know this game is years apart from Veilguard, but Dorian seems
Is
to
that
humble
what you
himself
call it?
rather quickly
Treated
between the two
poorly?
games, boys.
That is an issue we can
Upon
tackle a
those
little
without
later, George.
power Isn't limited to Tevinter, my friend. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect
Anyways,
you don't
before we
know
dive
either.
into the beef of this
Nor
episode,
should
I
you
have one
believe
last
that every
errand to
tale
go
of
through since
Tevinter
Donald
excess
saved a
is the
dragon
norm.
for me in the Lions, and I have to collect.
Oh, come the fuck on. I know this game is called Dragon Age, but I was promised some base dwarves this episode, and that was almost 10 minutes and 2 errands ago. Not to mention you spent like 30 minutes in the skill menu buying skill points and buying necklaces.
Yeah, viewers, just be thankful you didn't have to watch all of this yourselves. It would have been an entire 1-hour podcast of us talking over upgrades and re-leveling 3 whole characters.
So Barry, for the viewers who aren't watching visually, I will just mention that our skills look a bit different now. So you mind telling us what's different from our party now?
Sure thing, Joe. So despite Donald's tsundere attitude, this was more of a team effort. We each took one of 3 characters who we have been leveling since episode 1 and completely overhauled them now that it's late game and we have different gear. Joe took on Solas naturally, and that was the smallest change. Essentially just prioritizing barriers and his Rift Mage specialization more, while grabbing a fire spell for the deep roads. Donald handled Cassandra and changed quite a bit, actually.
Hey, I'm cool with you speaking for Joe, but I will not let you speak for me. I handled Cassandra's build as the warrior and Templar main that I am. I scrapped a lot of her sword and shield and taunt skills in favor of the grappling chain, Horn of Valor, and Templar skills. I also dived into the Pommel Strike ability, which is in the two-hander tree for some added crowd control for the big girl. Then I dove into just enough of the taunt tree to build up taunt and tank stats.
I also took on Cole's build to feel included. You may be asking how I did that with so little game knowledge, but I did it my way. I dove deep into the game's codes to fully comprehend the rogue stats, then made a few dice rolls on what skill tree to best prioritize. After that, it was simply a matter of luck until I found the best assassin perks to...
Yeah, no, viewers, he is shitting with you. He looked at the skill tree for like 5 minutes before we told him Cole was fine on his own and didn't really need anything. Back to what I was saying though, as the rogue main of the group, I rebuilt our Inquisitor from the ground up, and honestly, it is the strongest of the 3 rebuilds, which is appropriate for a late game rogue. I focused first on getting everything in the Artificer tree and swapping out the Shadow Leap to Shadow Step for some added mobility. I left out some of the stealth perks in exchange for some of the poison skill tree perks for the increased damage. Finally, I swapped out Piercing Shot for Exploding Shot to deal with darkspawn and made sure to focus on getting Pincushion, basically fully optimizing or damage per second for the late game. You will be able to see the full changes in our build in the boss fights like this one.
Yeah, you're welcome for getting all the elemental resistances last episode in the temple, by the way. That Pride Demon Guardian wasn't very nice, and it is clearly helping you easy clear the Ice Dragon fight. That and the new drip I unlocked in the Hissing Wastes. That's giving extra defense for you.
First off, Joe, that was an easy detour. You just Bidened it up like you always do in Inquisition, apparently. And second of all, even if our elf has a few resistances, it's not going to save your hidden skill issue, Obama.
Yeah, that's a cute idea, but I will never let a dragon or any other boss get the jump on me again. However, Donald, thanks for reminding me that I need to show the viewers why I am ahead in the death competition. I actually thought I might have to use grenades or extra poisons, but this is going so smoothly I don't think I need to use any limited resources.
This dragon fight seems to be going far more quickly than the previous fire one Donald was taking on, and that's even considering we are cutting ahead every time he needlessly flies around and wastes time.
It's because this goddamn thing isn't summoning babies like the last 2 dragons I killed.
Smells like cope to me, Donald. But honestly, if we want this death competition to be interesting, we better hope the Darkspawn put up a better fight than this Ice Girl is.
Yeah, Obama thinks he is being sneaky so far, having a short episode and taking on a lower level dragon than mine, but karma is definitely a bitch and is going to catch up to you.
All right, first off, Donald, you chose the dragon you were fighting, not me. I would have been okay with Joe or me taking on that dragon to get the last shards we needed. Second, all of us are getting one shorter episode. You got one for the prologue. I got one in episode 3 in Joe's. Next episode after the DLC grind will be his shorter episode. We are all even here. We have just finally scaled past dragons being a serious threat, since unlike certain other enemies, they don't have any new tricks to scale past our new abilities.
Well, the big girl is almost dead. Meanwhile, we are all at full health with some spare potions. You might as well go over what the rewards are for taking her out, Barry.
Sure thing, Joe. So viewers, her rewards aren't as appealing as the last two dragons, but there are still two noteworthy rewards. First is the Staff of the Void, which looks identical to the Dragon Age 2 items. Staff Malcolm's Honor, which boasts a massive plus 36 to magic and has a 10% chance to cast Walking Bomb on hit. The other notable reward is the Superior Grenades Belt, which adds plus 6 to any grenade you're carrying. Not exactly great for nightmare runs, but running this on normal difficulty with a rogue and giving them 6 B grenades and anti-van firebombs is a really fun build. Anyways, that's all she wrote for the dragon, and I did it deathless, so say it with me, boys.
Boom, easy money. Well, more importantly than the dead dragon, we can take another shot, viewers, for the landmark quest tackled.
All right, one last task before we get straight into descent. Since we have to go to the war table anyway, let's tackle another war table section.
Oh, come the fuck on, man.
Oh, shoot. Now that we've finished the two main quests, we unlocked the final war table quest concerning our clan. Let me take point here, boys. Now that the Duke's Red Crack plan has been taken out, it looks like the rest of the Free Marches is out for blood against the elves. We are going to have to stand our ground with Cullen to keep them safe, and we unlock a mount for all our trouble.
If we try to be diplomatic with Josie here, it doesn't work, and the clan still gets wiped out despite all our efforts so far.
It would be a funny way to end the series, though, and piss everyone off. Anyways, next up, we have a blast from the past, a letter from the Human Noble 2.0 offering help to Kirkwall after the Mage Rebellion that Hawk put down. I will have our merchant princess gather support for Sebastian's restoration effort.
This is the war table quest that switches depending on whether we killed Anders or not, right?
Justice for the based homie Anders.
Yeah, if we had spared Anders, Sebastian would be instead trying to conquer Kirkwall in search of Anders, a much worse ending for Kirkwall and the Free Marches. Still sucks to lose a companion like that, though. Next up, with Celine now in power, we can have her and our based bro Alistair sit down to discuss aid and peace talks. If Gaspard was put in charge, Alistair would instead be going to try and persuade Gaspard against invading Ferelden. Either way, we can send in Josie to make sure Alistair wears his good suit, and we get a sword that belonged to King Callandhad.
Good to see our king bro always returns the favor. Next up, we can head to the other side of the map and check in on our growing mercenary group, Sutherland and Company. Looks like a noble wants to clear out darkspawn in his trade routes and wants the Inquisition's help in this, although Sutherland is all too happy to take down more spawn himself. I will work with our lovely bard and have him take them out.
I guess Optimal Obama will go and check back with them in a minute. Looks like we have time for one more, so we don't keep George waiting longer than he has two. The Magister talked to his other Magister friends, and it looks like he dug up Corypheus's long-lost ancestor by reading his diary. The basic bard did so well with the mercenary group, we might as well keep her going and have her blackmail the ancestors into saying Corypheus smells or something.
They were quick to sell out Corypheus and give us a spirit rune, so they probably knew something. All right, let's not keep George waiting anymore. A quick check-in with Sutherland and Company. Then it's time for a 2-hour Deep Roads dive.
Thank God I was about to pour another glass of mead and pass out.
Dwarf hit him with fire and I got him around the side.
You were very dashing. Cleaved him good.
Couldn't let him get near you. Either of you. We're a team. Better, we're an adventuring company. Oh shit, we're a company! Inquisitor, you should have seen it. Darkspawn. We put your flag in the center of their bloody lair and held it.
Isn't he good? He's very good.
We are better than good. We'll prove we're an adventuring company of the Inquisition. Your company, Inquisitor. I said I'd pay you back.
All right, no more delay, George. We are meeting the dwarves now. Just a fun fact for the viewers in case you didn't know. If you travel to the Rift Cave in the Storm Coast, you can actually find the Deep Roads lift instead of only fast traveling from the war table.
Hey, Joe, remember when Obama got his first death in that cave?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
I hate you all just focus on the debrief.
It wouldn't be a proper based dwarven DLC if there wasn't the based Veilguard dwarf to greet us. Does she play a major role in this story? Because that would be appropriate given what happens later.
No, George, the writers definitely did not think that far ahead. She just has 2 lines, one here and one at the very end. If anything, the first DLC has more Harding lines and more story relevance since she is in almost every cutscene.
God, I cannot wait to bring her and see her everywhere with her short stack smell wafting huma hoo.
How many quakes
I may like dwarves, but not that much. Boys, Joey boy, you need a cold shower immediately.
And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Well, in case the lyrium trade wasn't in bad enough shape with the Chantry in shambles and the circles abandoned, but now we have earthquakes specifically targeting lyrium mines, so the dwarves can't even get their bag anymore.
You mean the dwarves can't diggy hole? This is a national emergency. This is a true DEFCON 1 event.
Wait, I thought it was DEFCON 5 that was the bad one.
Jesus Christ, everyone, this is your 46th president.
I don't have
Oh, thanks for admitting it, Double D.
All three of you are wrong because this is an issue about earthquakes affecting dwarves, not nuclear warfare. But yeah, Joe, please do a read-up on security briefings in the future. Now let's go down by the Lyrium River.
All right, I get that we need to go down to reach the deep roads, but do we have to take this rickety-ass wooden elevator to get there? Can't we just ride some of those rhino guys down or trail along inside the mountain like POTUS does?
Try not to
I think this mission is going to be long enough. Just diving into the deep roads, I would prefer a quick way to get there. That being said, I am going to close my eyes during this scene. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
Ooh, that music drop got me feeling things.
We should be wary of raw lyrium.
I'm more worried about finding darkspawn.
Neither is a pleasing prospect.
Dwarves cannot dream, yet they devise the most fascinating inventions.
Not all ideas come from the Fade.
True, but these designs must be inspired by something.
Palms calloused, clutching, clawing when the dust came.
The miners.
The stones were angry.
My son is doing some excellent subtle foreshadowing, as he always does.
Yeah, are we going to talk about this team here, by the way? This is not your normal team double date in action. You have the damn egg and the social anxiety spirit.
I would have preferred Blackwall being here, too. It's pretty appropriate that he earned his Grey Warden wings down here.
Well, Solus I brought for the sheer irony of having him confront a Titan after what he did to them. And as for Cole, he has some of the best dialogue in this DLC, covering the feelings of the Titan as well as our two new temporary squad mates in this mission. And as for not bringing Blackwall, well, we will already have one edgelord join us in a minute. I didn't think we needed two of them.
The Shaper welcomes you to the deep roads.
God damn it. We just got here and the first thing I see is dead Dwarven brothers. How the fuck did every little guy fail their death saving throws?
Times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyria.
Wait, hold on, it's nice. We are getting some Dwarven Orzammar lore that we haven't gotten since Origins like 2 years ago. But why the hell is her voice so familiar it's bothering me?
Yeah, her voice is giving me the urge to romance her and leave a certain soldier on Vermar to piss Donald off.
Wrong series, Joe. However many BioWare fans will no doubt recognize Shaper Valtis voice actor Ali Hillis as the voice of Dr. Liara Tassoni.
I'm sure that little tidbit won't have any unfortunate or ironic comparisons in the near future. We are far more evolved than that. Also, Barry, you mentioned something about the lyrium trade being in danger. Do you want to say more about that?
Well, we have been going over this debate a few times in our series, George, but given the destruction of the lyrium mines, as well as what we learn about lyrium in this DLC, it certainly is the best case that the Chantry's lyrium trade and Orzammar's economy is in serious danger. Although I maintain that, as long as they have lyrium available, the dwarves probably have merchants' contracts that enforce the Chantry to purchase a certain amount of lyrium every month to maintain their economy. So, in the short term, the Mage Rebellion probably didn't affect Orzammar, although Orzammar does have its own share of economic troubles that we can get into during this episode.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear all about that Obama llama.
Man, first we have a unique history check for our Inquisitor, and then we have someone excited about Barry's lore yaps. His Christmas wish must have come early, boys.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Holy shit, our Inquisitor did not pass his dexterity saving throw. That was a massive aura loss on our main character's part.
Yeah, the fact we are supposed to be a rogue, but we still needed to be saved there does not bode well for our feats. I am going to have to dock some points off the power rankings with that shot, boys.
I see what they were doing, though. They wanted to show how in tune Shaper Valta is with her stone sense, that she has like a spidey sense for the earthquakes.
Girl should have gone into lyrium mining instead of shapering. She would have made a gigantic bag.
Donald, you know that's not how any of that works in Orzammar. Also, holy shit, it's that giant rhino thing at the top of the tower in Origins.
Ah, yes, the classic beginning battle ogre fight that is in Origins, Dragon Age 2, Veilguard, and now the Descent DLC.
Wait, that thing is an ogre? Those things look really different from the Veilguard ones. I almost didn't recognize the thing. My bad, boys.
Well, part of me is hoping that this thing will clap Obama up, but I once put my faith in an ogre to kill a liberal, and I was deeply, deeply disappointed, so never again.
Bro, do you know what the hell he is talking about?
Sort of. I think Sleepy Joe handled the tutorial ogre fight in Origins, but since he got the Grey Warden buff by that point, he sort of easy cleared the thing. I don't have all the context. I wasn't banished to Joe's brain yet, after all.
Yeah, thanks for the exposition trip down memory lane, boys, but this fight is going to be a definite easy clear for me. Not only do we have Mommy Cassandra to tank the big guy's attacks, but we also have the immortal dwarf Valta, who can occasionally draw an enemy's attacks.
Good to see our nerdy researcher can still pull out a sword and fight instead of just cowering in the corner. That is rarer in these types of quests.
Makes sense if she voices Liara. She isn't going to stay a pacifist damsel for long after all. She is going to blossom into a full-on badass in due time, space magic or no magic.
Shaper Valta might be a researcher first, but she has been in the field working with the Legion of the Dead for 3 years now. If she didn't learn how to fight, she would easily be darkspawn food by now.
Plus, as a dwarf, she has a natural buff to her endurance and tank stats. That heavy armor proficiency isn't just for show after all.
Well, that's an ogre dead, but sadly no unique death animations this time around. Man, I miss the old days.
Well, we already met our first temporary squad mate of the episode. Now it's time to meet our second, and by far more gruff addition.
Looks like a dwarf with a base beard right out of Lord of the Rings. Now this is my type of protagonist already, boys.
Damn, the camera work is going crazy in this scene, boys. That DLC increased budget is really shining in those shots.
Bro has an incredible beard, a gruff voice, an honorable warrior mindset, and a war shout. I think I just found my new favorite Age of Dragons Inquisition character, gentlemen.
George, I feel like you should know something about this guy before you get too invested in his character.
Donald, don't bore him with the details. Trust me, just let him have this. Yeah, George, I am glad you like him. He is the commander of this squad, and he is going to be our second temporary squad mate this mission, which means we have 2 additional NPC tanks in our roster now, not just 1.
Looks like the darkspawn dogs have come to play too, so we have Origins references on one side and Legacy references on the other side.
You know, I can't really remember, did this DLC add any new type of darkspawn into the game, or are these all just one-for-one copies of the alpha darkspawn from Legacy?
Technically, yes, we are about to encounter the Shrieks in a minute, which were cut from Dragon Age 2 entirely, and have a full model revamp in this game, acting as darkspawn assassins rather than weird, lanky Slendermans. There was also cut designs for a Shriek Alpha, which would have had magical abilities as well as rogue assassin abilities.
There's also the Emissary Alpha too. That design is completely different from anything else we have encountered, because that thing has a whole armor set on.
Oh shoot, you're completely right, Joe. I forgot about the one armored darkspawn post-awakening, my bad. You know, honestly, the biggest sign that this isn't really a blight is the fact there is little darkspawn organization outside of the deep roads. Like, there's no reason that Corypheus couldn't lead hordes of darkspawn and put some armor on an ogre like in Awakening. That shit would have everyone thinking it's a blight again.
That's probably more of that cut content that would have made it in if the Architect was added to this game too. I'm guessing Corypheus just doesn't use darkspawn much because he doesn't want to associate with darkspawn anymore.
Yeah, you know, other than that fake ass, ye-ass haircut fake archdemon, he keeps on his back like the plagiarizing bitch he is.
Easy, Themi, we will get your shot in at that guy very soon. Don't worry. Anyways, Barry, we already went over how our builds are different now, but we haven't done too much to go over our equipment and special effects, which might be important to do.
Fair enough, so our biggest change is the superior Prowler armor and Lyrium bow we made for our Inquisitor, specifically for the DLC grind, which is made from Tier 3 and 4 materials. The Lyrium bow also has a Masterpiece Fire rune to deal with the Darkspawn effectively. We also gave Cole the Agony Dagger we got from the Shard Temple, which casts Chain Lightning on hit, and also the gift of the Talons we got from a High Dragon. Cassandra's gear is still the same from last mission. She has a sword and a shield from the Dew Lion's High Dragon that increases her damage the more enemies surround her, and Sola's has the Hawk Key Staff that pierces all barriers that we got from the Dew Lion's Fort Merchant. Overall, really strong gear that Donald can slap on his team for the most part next episode.
Well, except for the homie Varric, since I am going to have to build him from scratch again. Probably boost his artificer skills a few degrees, like we did our Inquisitor, and use some more dragon bones to boost his armor and Bianca upgrades.
If I remember right, we can build a store that sells Tier 3 and 4 materials in this camp. And we also get a random boon of dragon materials in one of the containers too.
The dwarves have many gifts for those loyal to them, it seems. That being said, Obama, you are letting our proud stout ancestors down with this one, it looks like. I'm no expert in this game, but the health bars should be more healthier on your side than the enemy side, shouldn't they?
Wait, holy shit. Cassandra and the egg both are taking dirt naps right now? After the easy clear of the ogre, I low-key thought this episode was going to be boring. Maybe I should keep a closer eye on things.
There's nothing to watch, though. This is just a minor setback. Cole and our Inquisitor are built so overpowered as rogues that there really isn't anything to worry about.
Well, one of those overpowered rogues just got absolutely demolished by the darkspawn. So what's the plan now, Barry? Because this is a bad look, and it's only the second combat of the episode.
Again, it's just a minor setback. Let's cut ahead here. I am not going to waste time picking people up slowly. Let's just see how much damage I can do on my own with these guys.
Obama, why the hell are you not popping your ultimate here? You're almost dead.
Because as long as he's focused on the dwarves, there's no threat to me. And wait, no, back off, don't touch me there. Don't touch me there, fucking flop mommy, why?
Well, just like that, every president has reached double-digit deaths in our series. What a crazy timeline we live in, boys.
Worse than that, it looks like an 11th death is on the horizon, because this attempt was somehow even worse than the last one. He barely got through half the spawn before getting clapped up.
Yeah, I think the mic fuck not I am going to make the spawn taste the pure concentrated power of Fade Mountain Dew and clap up the horde in one go.
Yeah, that's a cool idea, Barry, but the Rift Ultimate never works when you really need it to, since it never really kills anything on Nightmare.
Well, you were right, Sleepy, although now I am glaring at you, because since when do you have actual game knowledge concerning this game? I thought you were a damn Dragon Age grifter that only knows mage knowledge.
Donald, I've been burned by that ultimate dozens of times in the past, plus Rift Mage, and that ultimate goes super hard, I can't lie.
Again, I am not claiming to be an expert on this game by any means, but should we have our Elven Archer farther away from the fight so you don't keep getting smacked by a giant fucking hammer?
Well, yes, of course I knew that, but it's all part of the grand plan I have, trust me. Our Rogue Archer is so powerful he can... Fuck! Oh, damn it, why?
All right, Barry, that's an 11th death, no way around it. So I am going to need you to lock in, center yourself, find your inner wolf, grab that wolf, and then suplex it, because you're not a goddamn animal, you're a man. Now go be a man, suplex that wolf, and clear this level in the video game you're playing.
Joe, what the fuck did any of that even mean?
You're right, Joe, I am a man and I can do this. I was an idiot for trusting Mountain Dew ult instead of the Artificer ult. I should be using that one as much as I can. Semper Fi, bitch.
Well, it wasn't clean and it certainly wasn't easy, but looks like you finally beat the intro darkspawn fight and you're even getting a little explosion action as a sweet treat for yourself.
Yeah, that almost makes up for almost losing my lead in the competition, but it was a minor setback, nothing more. Now let's show these little guys how a real follower of the path of explosions gets things done.
I'm guessing this is lyrium blasting power, but a reference to Dworkin from Awakening here would have been absolutely peak as a tie-in between the two games.
That would require them to acknowledge Awakening even happened in the greater lore of this series. And besides, like Anders and Nathaniel, the writers chose to ignore basically everything that happened. Anyways, George, I would duck if I were you, since you were right in the splash zone.
Now, Donald, I know I am a little more new to this game than the rest of you, but even I know that this is a video game and that explosion isn't real and can't hurt.
Oh, fuck, that's the type of boom I was missing out of my life. Oh, Mommy, Cassandra, please hold me.
Oh, Jesus, okay, I see what you mean now. Please give me a heads up if there are any more dwarven explosions.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's
So wait, was this guy one of
commanders.
Cardall's men that fought topside with us in Origins?
Paid her to say
Most
that.
likely, yes, although we learn he wasn't part of the Dead Trenches squad that POTUS met. I'm just going to assume Cardall is a commander,
Collapsing
which is
that
the
seal
highest
bought us
rank a
time.
Legion of the Dead member can
Blighters had
achieve,
the run
and
of
Wren
these
was
tunnels
more of a
for
recruit
days.
at the time.
But now the
they have
bearded
a roadblock.
badass is a full-fledged commander. Bro definitely grew into his role easy money.
Well, George, if you like him now, you will like him even more once you learn that he only
I get
joined
the
the
impression
Legion of
you
the
two
Dead
have
to
known each
protect
other
his
a while.
family back in Orzammar.
Oh, hell yes. Family is
Shaper
everything, and
incentive to
of
dig
course
up some
every little guy
relics.
worth their salt
Asked
knows
me to
that.
keep her out of
Oh,
trouble.
damn, Barry, why did you have to go and tell him that?
Nah, don't worry about it, Joe. Let's just hear about
can
this
quit
budding
anytime.
relationship between the gruff and tough soldier
Not when we
and the
still
soft
have
and wise
things to
bookish
fight
girl.
about.
Oh, this is as sweet tea on the porch of your Texas ranch while you're rolling dice with your grandkids. I
Such
love a
small
budding
group,
friendship
your
to
people
dwarf
held up
lovers.
well.
The Quakes took a lot of us. Reinforcements will be slow to arrive.
Well, hold on to something, boys, because the Quakes are about to get worse, and we are going to have to roll these Quakes all the way to the end.
Okay, can that one soldier not look like a deer in headlights at the slowly crumbling statues falling on top of him? Superman is not about to fly up and lift the statue for you, little bro.
See, maybe if this is how the earthquake spell was moving in Origins, it would have not only lifted itself up in the tier list, but it would have saved itself from getting the chopping block in the future titles.
I think I hear the drums of liberation calling me.
Damn, that
The
sound
rhythm
certainly
returns.
isn't ominous at all or
It's
anything.
clearer,
Why do I get the
stronger,
feeling that the world-ending
more insistent.
earthquakes are suddenly the
I hear it.
B-plot in this
Doesn't
story?
prove a
Because
thing.
they most definitely are a symptom, not the root cause, George. And
These
because it's
quakes
about
are
time
not
the
a
dwarves
natural
had some
disaster.
plot development,
They're
because
deliberate.
since like Origins,
There's an
they have been stagnating minus like the
intelligence
Legacy
behind
DLC and Dragon Age 2.
Well, as we covered in Legacy, that shift was due to Jennifer Hepler, aka the Queen of the Dwarves, leaving before Inquisition's development, which meant besides Gator, no one on the team knew how to do the dwarves justice lore-wise, which likely explains why we had Varric as the one Dwarven squad mate instead of a new dwarf, and why even a Dwarven Inquisitor is a surfacer who doesn't understand Dwarven customs. When Descent got greenlit, they finally assigned a new head writer for the dwarves who wrote this story, and most of the story in Veilguard, which is why everything shifts away from Orzammar into the Titans.
So are we going to see one of these big bastards in this DLC? Because not even in Veilguard did we get an accurate idea of what these Titans truly are, and more importantly, how big they are.
They are pretty goddamn big, but we still don't see one in person.
What that mean?
You'll have to wait and see George, but trust me, it's a great goddamn build-up. Also, if these two can hear the song, does that mean a Dwarf Inquisitor or Varric can hear it too?
No, since they are both topsiders, it seems like the Titan ignores them for the most part. Even Shaper Valda points that out rather quickly, although honestly I imagine it's a bit of a cop-out, since they just weren't set on what Titans were yet, so they didn't want a Dwarf Inquisitor getting many clues.
That's extra lame, because elves see the crossroads differently in Trespasser, and get a whole lot of unique dialogue. But dwarves are just left waiting hat in hand during their race-specific DLC.
That's nothing compared to how shafted the Qunari get in this game. I think the Qunari spy girl has one different line in Trespasser, and that's like as far as I know.
Yeah, we get it. BioWare doesn't want us knowing shit about the Titans yet understood. Also, if you want one dialogue perk to bring into this DLC, I highly recommend Arcane Knowledge. There's like 5 or so unique interactions you can have in this mission starting right here.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
A mystery worth investigating.
Damn Solus, can you maybe sound a little happier about exploring this new dwarf mystery with us? Is there something you know that you would like to share with the rest of the class?
Bro is probably just hoping to learn he finished the job correctly and didn't accidentally leave his greatest foes still alive like Hawk does in Dragon Age 2.
I mean, isn't the one lesson we learned in Veilguard is that Solus actually sucks at taking out his enemies. He took the easy way out in defeating the Titans non-conventionally and fucked everything up, and then he took the ancient elves out non-conventionally, and Rook had to fix his mess.
By stone leading us there, I assume you mean the quest markers and my own map knowledge. Volta, let's call a spade, please.
I mean, I assume our bearded brother with the axe the size of himself has an idea of where we are going, given he lives in the deep roads and looks like he eats a bowl of rocks for breakfast without any milk.
All right, this is still a deep drop, but it's far less intimidating since it's a sturdy concrete elevator with a strong steel chain pulling us down.
This is glorious Dwarven engineering, just like Vigils keeps walls and those barrier doors. I trust them with my life and seal of approval.
You're goddamn right, big dog.
Emissaries are intelligent and use magic. Shrieks. It had to be shrieks.
Oh boy, I know Barry is excited to see the Shrieks up close again, since he has been silently brooding since the end of Origins about those lanky boys being gone.
I haven't been brooding, I'm not Fenris. It's just the darkspawn were far more versatile when they had frontline units and stealth units that could surround your tank if you're not careful. Shrieks on their own, though, were always just minor pests, but combined with a frontline and a mage, and ooh boy do we have a meta fight on our hands, boys.
So hang on, is friendly fire on in this game, boys? Because I have been noticing that you're doing more damage to Solas than anything that should be possible given his future ascension to godhood.
Yeah, friendly fire is on in this game, and Barry is so explosion-pilled that he is flat out ignoring the serious issues it's causing our party. That definitely caused at least one of his deaths earlier, if we are being fully transparent.
Yeah, I would have roasted him for that, but he is mainly killing the egg and the anxiety ghost with them. So it's really not any skin off my back.
Okay, that's fair, but I am just getting the hang of the skill for the first time live this episode, and the friendly fire at base still isn't as bad as something like Hail of Arrows. I just need to focus on when I blow up the spawn more and we will be good. Anyways, that calls it for the Shriek-only wave now. We can move on up ahead to the Mead Room, where we can start a small quest chain and also start one of our 2 main collection quests of this DLC, the Dwarven Mugs.
Well, as the pioneer and inventor of the Dragon Age drinking competition, allow me to go over what we can witness here. We can start a war table quest to recover the ancient Dwarven ale from the deep roads, where we then distribute it among the legion of the dead outposts for all dwarves to enjoy. Then we can grab the first mug of 10 that grant us 500 influence, having all mugs displayed on the main deep roads camp.
Thank you, Donald. We also get the personal flavor text of learning a lot about a dwarf by the mug they carry.
What mug would POTUS carry in his personal collection then?
Either a dragon skull mug for aura, or a golden and lyrium-infused mug to represent his Templar and Dwarven noble grind set.
Based observation as always, Donald, and speaking of collection quests for the drinking competition, we have 2 more here, and our second main collection of the DLC with the Bloody Gears. This goes for 2 quests for the gears, 1 collecting them and another for using them. Obviously for the drinking competition, we will count collecting them in the 4 key areas as a shot, and not using each gear on a door.
Looks like the other quest is collecting notes on a little guy who was experimenting with lyrium and probably getting high on his own supply, right?
Yeah, given the counter, George, that's right on the money. And given my Dragon Age experience, the outcome of this quest is either going to end with his dead body, or with us finding a map to a treasure trove or a new building schematic.
I don't remember this quest, but my money's on Dead Body. I know how edgy this game can get firsthand, and using lyrium if you're not a Templar never ends well.
Now, I believe the dwarves can pull through, and this guy seems like an inventor. I have 50 on this, leading to some buried treasure.
Shit, okay, I can match that bet.
Isn't it just a little morbid to be placing bets on whether this guy is going to survive or not?
Nah, not really. It's all for the content.
You should know we barely have a filter, Barry, besides like basic YouTube guidelines. Also, we have our first little emissary here that some great foreshadowing already paid off. I might as well glaze the fact that it's a cool detail that the mage darkspawn are default leaders when a blight isn't around, proving the might is right nature of darkspawn normally.
Mages and might in the same sentence as total cap, by the way, Sleepy. Also, looks like we have a little puzzle up ahead here, Nerdbama. What's the solution here?
Jumping the gun a little bit, Donald, but sure I can cover it now since this fight was super quick. Basically, you just light the 2 side braziers and just ignore the 2 center ones, and boom, the tomb slides right open. Now let's move on to a puzzle that will put some hair on your chest.
Well, I sense a puzzle worthy of some montage music, so I'm just going to scroll around a little on my Apple Music while you decide how you want to proceed, Barry.
Oh, hey, wait, I remember these guys. Those are the rock-eating lizards that also eat darkspawn, right, Obama Llama?
Yep, the Deep Stalkers, which, fun fact, is like the 3rd enemy type we fought in Origins, right behind dwarves and darkspawn. What a long way we have come since then, because it feels like just yesterday Donald was roasting me about talking about Deep Road's ecosystem, and now he's roasting me for my line delivery. I'm sure there's a moral here somewhere.
Yeah, probably to get a new format or something, Obama. Anyways, now that the rock lizards are dead, let's move on to puzzle number 2. Now, with no music from you, Sleepy Joe, what's the solution here?
All right, so this is Builder's Tower of Spin on the real-life Tower of Hanoi that BioWare is apparently obsessed with in their games. Since I kid you not, KOTOR, Jade Empire, Mass Effect, and now Dragon Age all have variants of the same puzzle, with Mass Effect being the only one you can skip using Omnigel. Basically, you have to transfer each piece from one side to the 3rd side while only being able to take out 1 piece at a time, and you're unable to stack bigger pieces on top of smaller ones. The idea is you should stack pieces on the 3rd and 2nd slides, making sure you get the biggest piece on the 3rd slide first, and then go from there.
Low-key, Barry, you look like you're struggling with this puzzle. You sure you're good?
I'm fine. I more or less know the solution. It's just clicking the tiny little pedestals is annoying, and it also feels like there's a delay in what I touch. So I keep getting thrown off.
Joe, this feels like one of those shape puzzles you used to keep in your office closet. Maybe you should think about adding them, keep your mind sharp and alert.
George, besides a brain transplant, there is not enough brain games in the world to do that?
You two are so funny, wow. So original. What's the reward for this 2 minutes of tedium, Barry?
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, I'm good. So the loot is actually random, one of the few chests that has this property, but there are 4 categories. You get a random weapon, a random leveled stat amulet, a random Bianca schematic, and a random dwarven valuable.
BioWare trying to out themselves with that one, boys. You guys can't just put these puzzles everywhere and then make a joke about how often you put them in. Be the change you want to be, or whatever PBS crap they say.
I appreciate if they are going to be self-aware that they overuse this joke to at least laugh about it. They make the same joke in Mass Effect 3 during the Citadel DLC when Shepard tries to play the same tower game and he outright rejects playing it.
Looks like we are being true RPG heroes now and destroying barrels for lost loot. How on brand. And now we are getting some proper words of respect for a fallen dwarven brother.
I'm more so curious about Valta and Ren's relationship, since she seems to know a lot about the people working under him and even his personal life.
There's a little more to it than just a working relationship and kindred dwarf bonding. The Shaperate tasked Ren with protecting Shaper Valta during her search for dwarven relics in the Deep Roads. They similarly formed a close relationship, arguing over Valta's beliefs, but ultimately respecting each other. Valta also went as far as to seek out Ren's family members to make sure they are taken care of in Orzammar during the current famine and economic crisis.
Oh wow, Orzammar isn't doing well under Bellin. Who could have imagined that would happen? I thought he was for the people and completely above corruption or poor economic decisions.
All right, Sleepy, you don't have to be a sarcastic little dick about everything. Prince Belen had a few road bumps, but he was ultimately the much better choice for the people. Everyone in the comments of our Origins videos said so.
I do have to wonder how different that graph would be now versus back when we did the Origins series. Our subscriber count has tripled since then, and we have certainly built a much larger following now. Although I think Belen would probably still win by a close margin.
So the Shaper here implies that those gears are made of a material that she doesn't recognize. Does that come up as a meaningful plot point at all, or is that just flavor text?
Not at all, George. I imagine they are just old metals from before the Blights are magical in nature.
Here she goes mentioning more stuff about the form, shaft, and size of the quakes, leading her into a certain direction. I wish we could actually see that in game to any degree.
Yo, this game could do amazingly well with some feats here and there for roleplay opportunities, like give us a feat for being born in Orzammar and give us stone sense, then maybe another trait where we are born in a merchant family and give us negatives and positives for each.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, George. Bethesda has done that a few times with New Vegas and Starfield, however the traits often only matter so much, and having too many traits leaves them all just feeling mid, so you would have to balance it out to probably about 6 to 8 meaningful traits.
That's relatable. I have the same issue with homebrew D&D abilities. I add too many and they don't feel meaningful enough as they did in my brain. Also, this girl loves talking about gears. I think we have identified her special interest gentleman.
I like how she was saying we don't have to go this way, as we were already placing the gears and getting ready to turn the lever. Barry didn't even attempt to hesitate there.
This girl does not know who she is really talking to, because Obama explores every single nook and crevice for lore and loot like a goddamn bloodhound. Telling him we don't have to go one way in a Dragon Age game is like telling a fish not to swim in water. I mean, this is the guy who fought through 5 optional paths in the deep roads the last time he was down here.
Wait, was the last time I went in the deep roads really back in Origins? That doesn't sound right.
I think you went one time in Dragon Age 2. I don't know. I only went into the place once myself. I know that much.
Oh, that's right. I technically did the Nathaniel quest where we dropped by to see him and Carver for like 10 minutes. Well, I think I am going to hold the record for most time in the deep roads at this rate, boys, because we are close to an hour and we aren't even at the halfway point yet.
Oh God, and that all depends on how fast Obama here can clear the fights without dying, and given the first goddamn fight that isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Oh God, and it's a Revenant boss too, which has been Barry's biggest roadblock in Inquisition. Seriously, you're 2-1 on your fights with these things, Barry. It's time to lock in.
I am 2-2 on them. You have to count the times I beat them after dying as well, to be fair, Joe. Plus, that Exalted Plains fight was way worse. I had a Revenant and Arcane Horror flanking me on both sides. And you know, now that I am thinking about it, I'm the only one of you three that's really fought the hard Revenant battles. Donald hasn't fought any yet, and Joe, the only Revenants you fought were like level 15 at that temple last episode when we were level 22.
Yeah, we get it. You have a skill issue. Obama, just focus up on this boss fight right now, because this is still just the first part of the dungeon.
Damn, and just like our drone strike operations, you didn't give a damn about collateral damage even when it's your in-game wife. Our squad got completely demolished by that. I feel like that should be a morality check or something.
Yeah, I am amazed he let Cassandra die like that, but to his credit, the 2 Dwarven companions are straight up immortal. It's too bad that they hit like wet tissue paper and are mostly just used to distract enemies.
I honestly expected Cassandra to live that, although given that massive explosion, I can't blame her for wanting to take a little nap. I'm going to pick everyone up and then finish off the rest of the undead.
Also, I just have to point out that we took a break from darkspawn to fight undead again. They were really trying to capture the authentic Origins experience with these encounters. They really got creative, mixing up the second most common enemy in the series with the first one.
Looks like we found a diary with a little treasure map inside it. What's the story here, boys? More random loot we can find.
It's actually some of the best loot in the game. We get one of the strongest leveled one-handed swords in the game and a second barrier penetration ring, which will help with Iron Bull's build when we need him to cleave through everything.
More interesting than that, the journal contained the final moments of a warden, Elisa. A warden who was down here for her calling and describing how overwhelming the archdemon's call is as she slowly loses herself more and more. She also described the wonders of the deep roads past all the death and darkspawn, and how grand of an empire the dwarves had before the blights.
You know, that's something the game doesn't talk about much, besides like Branka and Origins, the absolute decline of the dwarves who had an underground empire as large as the elves. But now they have exactly 2 cities. The elves talk about it all the time, but the dwarves still act as if they are just fine.
That's because the dwarves don't feel the need to complain about their problems. They would rather focus on more important things like fighting and digging holes. Also, the shield technology the darkspawn unlock seems to be giving you a lot of trouble, Obama. I think I remember these bulldozer guys from the second game.
Yes, the Alpha Genlocks are an old foe, and an unfortunate reminder that these things can use tools, but they aren't a major roadblock by any means. They just stunned Cassandra before she could get her guard up. If I'm at all pressed here, I can just throw a bee grenade at them and keep it pushing.
Ah, yes, because when I am facing a never-ending horde of orcs the size of lifted trucks, I just gather some honey and throw some bees at the face of evil.
Hey man, the darkspawn can expect swords and fireballs a mile away, but we don't expect the bees to cover our eyes and ears. That's the best way to keep us on our non-existent toes.
You doing okay killing all the darkspawn here, bro? I feel like we might be hate-criming your people here.
I mean, this isn't as bad as Awakening, and it's not my job to rampage and take over the world one shriek ambush at a time. So honestly, I am chilling. I just don't have much to add over the clear dwarf glaze.
You kill darkspawn like you've been doing it your whole life, Inquisitor.
He means that as a compliment.
You're famous, even down here. Is it true you killed a dragon?
Goddamn Ren loves the drums of Battle Boys, you gotta love it. We need to get this guy on the squad or as an agent and really put him through the paces. Why did y'all sound like that? It sounded ominous and super sus.
Nothing, George. They are just getting tired of always fighting the same darkspawn enemy. After grabbing this ledge gear here, hopefully we can find something new to fight.
Spiders.
All right,
I almost forgot.
All right, just this once it's free. King Crimson.
Oh, God, sorry about that, boys without Mommy Merrill. I can't stand those weird things.
No worries, Joe. I know spiders and darkspawn are mortal enemies, but that should be one of the only times we see them in this mission, since we are pretty deep in darkspawn territory. Also, Donald, you skipped ahead a little too far. We are already halfway through the final fight of the first level.
What are you, my gaming buddy or a nagging wife while I drive? Pick a lane, nerd, Bomba, and stick with it.
It's a sad day when the spiders are somehow winning more turf wars than the mortals that actually used to own this place and have legitimate weapons and technology, especially when their biggest tanks and siege engines die in like 5 minutes to an aero bombardment.
Yeah, this build really is the ultimate dealer of death, but unfortunately it's the dealer for everyone since it kills our squad mates as quickly, if not even faster, than it kills bosses. It's only short bursts, though. These longer fights still have a few chances to press you, if you're not careful, Barry.
Yeah, this build sort of handles like a drunken rhino or a Garrus Vicarian in an antique store. I want to maximize my damage when I use my ultimate, but I also want to not have to solo this game halfway through a long fight. The best way I have found to manage both is pop it at the end of a difficult fight, or when we are close to death anyway. I'll eventually find the sweet spot. This is just our cross to bear for playing on Nightmare with friendly fire on.
Well, that sweet spot isn't looking too sweet at the moment. It looks like everyone besides you and Cole are about to take the sweetest and longest dirt naps of their lives.
Is there a reason why the Hat Boy and our player character are always the two people who are kept alive when the bombing goes down, or is it just because Obama is partial to the rogue mains and his friendly fire is an extension of his bias?
I'm pretty sure it's because in lore, Cole just kind of pops in and out of different areas, almost like he is Nightcrawler, or a really annoying pop-up on 18+ sites. And because Cole is teleporting, he is avoiding a lot of the friendly fire damage, and hell, most enemy damage too. That being said, now that there's almost no other targets to hit, my son ended up getting skill checked as well, Barry.
No worries, Joe. All I have to do is pop my ult when I think I am about to end the fight, clear out the rest of the darkspawn dogs, and then when most of the herd is dead, then I can safely revive Solas and get everyone back up to clean the rest of the blighted trash. Plus, I can pop the rest of the ultimates the team has, since they are about to get reset when we go back to the main camp anyway.
Wait, why are we backtracking if this is just the first dungeon of like 4 that we have to clear out? Isn't that a waste of our time?
You're not wrong, George, but first off, Nerd Bama is obsessed with wasting our time, and second of all, we need to build some bridges at the Deep Roads table to finish the drinking competition.
Not only that, but we have to get the cheese wheel for one of the best Easter egg cutscenes in the franchise. I will not be hearing any notes on this, it's vital.
Oh, damn, now I am really curious what we are going to see. I bet it's a weapon of the gods or a viewpoint of ungodly natural beauty.
Yeah, it's something like that, George, sure. Anyways, it took longer than any of us thought, and it wasn't pretty, but we more or less finished the fight, so let's skip ahead again to some actual plot.
There's nothing left of them. Can't even tell who they were.
I'm sorry, Ren.
You joined the Legion knowing you're already dead.
Does anyone find this scene weird?
Like,
first off, this dude is a Blight veteran for the last dozen years or so, and the Darkspawn impale, eat, blight, and sometimes even worse. He shouldn't be surprised by this, and I have never heard of not burying a dwarf's body because it's defiled. That's a new one.
This guy should be lucky he wasn't with Cardle's group where they forced female dwarves to eat the bodies of their loved ones. That was some really messed up shit, and there wasn't even anything left.
Origins was certainly the darkest game in the series. But you're right, it does stick out. I believe they put this here so the concept of the stone as a religion for dwarves would be in the forefront of our mind for what will happen later.
Oh, the Titan stuff right, that does add up, Obama Llama.
We'll burn the remains. Honor them with flame.
Anyways, are you guys going to narrate these Table of War missions like you did the previous ones, or no?
Not really much point. We can just briefly go over what we are doing for the viewers. And you, George, we retrieved the ale caches for some influence. We decorated the main camp some and added a camp store to sell our excess and buy crafting materials. And we built a bridge connecting some platforms in the upper levels to grab some loot.
Good work, Donald, and this was all made instant thanks to an additional mod from the Skip War Table waiting mod. Although some of the missions in this chain still have wait times for some reason. We have two paths to head into, left and right. I am going to start with the right path since I find it more important, and I'm sure the viewers will care more too.
Creatures. There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a airlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter.
Damn bro didn't survive the darkspawn chug jug, truly a fate worse than death.
Damn rip to the homie Vaughn. I guess a rogue warden in Origins got very lucky that they never had darkspawn blood get in their mouth.
Well, Joe, that wouldn't really matter anyway, since as a Grey Warden, they are immune to the harmful effects of the Blight.
Oh, shoot, you're right. I can't believe I forgot all about that.
Sleepy, didn't you take your own version of the joining in real life? How the hell do you not know that?
No comment.
All right, so we grabbed some cheese that has been sitting out in the open for at least a century or two.
That cheese will be a surprise tool that will help us later, George. Trust me, it will be worth the confusion anyways. With another gear collected, we can take another shot for gears collected in the first dungeon. Now we can also open up another side door and retrieve some dwarven artifacts inside that we can return to Orzammar for some influence gain.
Hopefully we get rewarded with the epic feast like we did in Awakening when we brought back a single stone slab. But given what I have seen so far with this game, I'm pretty sure this just gives influence points and nothing else.
Yeah, it's just influence and some gold, but a pretty good amount. Given all the problems going on in Orzammar, though, I imagine grabbing these artifacts is massively beneficial for the dwarves, as a moral victory, if nothing else. This first door at least had a boss, so I plan on showing it. But after this, if there's not unique items or dialogue, I will likely skip a few of these on screen, since you all can assume how the doors are going to go.
I would call this thing a boss using pretty big asterisks, because it's not like this thing has any special spells or even the Dragon Age 2 gravity bomb spell that could wipe a party. The nerfing of mages on both sides besides the final Qunari mage fight needs to be studied.
All right now, you're just begging for a darkspawn blowback. Sleepy, better strap into your comfy chairs.
I'm already shuffling the cards, bro, don't worry.
I get wanting the fights to be even, but I don't want anything to happen to our two temporary squad mates, so let's not wish too big of a roadblock. I guess with the weird Hellraiser fella dead, we can grab those big-ass barrels and keep it pushing. I'm curious what this Dwarven Tag has in store for us.
Yeah, sure thing, George. And we also have a third Dwarven mug to grab as well, so this door is massively worth it.
Oh God, please don't tell me you're going to do more door rankings. We already have enough of those in Dead Space 2 Nerdbama.
Are we going to get back to that game, by the way? I feel like it's unfair to half our viewer base to keep them waiting for the return of Isaac Clarke.
Yeah, you're not exactly slick, Joe, but no worries. Dead Space 2 is still very fresh in our minds. We wanted to clear through most of Inquisition, that way we can focus on Dead Space 2 and then go straight into Dead Space 3. We will probably make an announcement about it when that happens. But for those of you loyal viewers who watch everything, our plan is to do a long episode of Dead Space after Joe's next episode, since it will be on the shorter side, and our editor will have time to edit 2 videos, then doing one more after we finish the main quest of Inquisition, and finally finishing up Dead Space 2 right after we finish Trespasser. That way you all have 2 full movies you can enjoy probably towards the end of the summer.
I was barely paying attention to all that because I was listening to a dwarf get high on cave fumes, but I am sure the viewers are hyped for it. Looks like you had to do some parkour shit to get to the back rooms, but you found that Grey Warden treasure from earlier.
Damn right, and now we have the base dwarf sword that has high damage and gives guard on every hit, which is crazy powerful.
It's hard to tell which is more powerful, this or Excalibur, but since Excalibur has an active rune on it, we are going to keep using what we have. During y'all's next episode, you can make the final call, of course. Anyways, we are staying on that gear collection grind. We found 2 here and 2 more in the next room, and we are about to find 5 or 6 more shoved deeper in this cave.
Damn, I don't know who is better at littering the Orlesians last episode, or the dwarves leaving their spare gears in the cave back rooms.
Don't you dare ever compare my base dwarven brothers to those savage French bastards. They killed the homie Tug, but now that I have a new homie Ren, I can lead him on a crusade against those traitorous bastards.
Oh boy, George, you're really killing me here, my man. I mean, you're right, fuck the French, but my God, your timing. Anyways, let's focus on something going on right now, like the fact that there's another shielded asshole blocking the middle of the cave like we are playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, the writing of this story might be vastly different from Origins, but the enemy placement is as mean as ever. That's probably why you are supposed to tackle this quest past level 20, which if you're not hardcore grinding like we are, would probably be after you defeat the main quest. That way you have a good kit installed with all the mobility, damage, and defense you need. Although even then, some players might find this DLC a roadblock because of a few mean mechanics.
I mean, besides the health spongy enemies, I'm not seeing the issue yet. Obama has mostly done more damage to his own party than these guys have to us.
Trust me, George, you have not seen the worst of it yet. We haven't reached the halfway point, skill check, or the final boss. That's where shit starts to get real. Also, wait, hold up. We have some based POTUS dialogue from Ren here.
I heard the hero of Ferelden came down here during the Blight.
Cardall met the Warden, but I never had the pleasure.
Do you often see Grey Wardens?
From time to time. They're a good bunch. Tough in a fight. Fearless.
Ren's dialogue here left a few things out, like how Cardall was his mentor and how POTUS helped improve the standing of the Legion of the Dead through what he found in the dead trenches. But I know not every decision was transferred correctly, so I won't harp on this too much. We also found another piece of the Lyrium experiments notes, and we can go back to the double doors to open up one last loot door before we progress further.
This is probably the best door for overall loot. We get another gear after spending some gears, as well as 2 leveled accessories, which have a chance at making a massive impact like the one we got here for magic defense.
Thank God the dwarves shoved everything deep in the back rooms and kept them locked up behind gears that they leave right out in the open. It's not exactly a perfect security system, but it's perfect for a main character who is obsessed with collecting things and looting.
Not all of them are shoved out in the open, though. In fact, I think Obama missed a few of them from my count. Considering we are actually 2/3 done with this dungeon, believe it or not.
Yeah, there's a few strange ones that I have to parkour for, and maybe one I missed, but don't worry, I will backtrack for the viewers in a bit. I am just trying to make some good pace here instead of taking like 15 minutes just finding gears. Anyways, this is another platform we can build at the war table for some extra gears and lost dwarven treasure. I'll make sure to grab both later on.
I'm kind of amazed we cleared through this dungeon in half the time as the first one, but then again, our 2 dwarfs seem far less chatty this time around, and as a game designer myself, I can tell when a game is giving us tutorials and introduction battles.
Well, while we are just clearing through the area for side loot, any lore you can give us here, Barry? Like maybe who the paragon of this tag was?
All we know about the Paragon Hydran is that his body is buried in the middle of that giant statue in the center that we just saw. We do have a few interesting reports about this area, though, mainly concerning what we don't find here. According to a scouting report from Cardall himself, the Legion have found rock wraiths in this area, as well as a former archdemon prison here. The prison was already empty, so it must have been one of the ones that came before. And the rock wraiths are likely here because of the significant loss experienced here, as well as the area's closeness with the Titans.
Do we know if the rock wraiths and Titans are connected in a way? I'm positive we are reusing questions now, but the things have so many similarities, it feels like it's not just a coincidence.
There's not anything directly connecting them, but the fact that rock wraiths are believed to be rejected spirits of the stone, and the Titans are the stone who are now defeated and lost, is at least a similar concept that means there was a connection that was never made, or the writers had the same idea twice.
Holy yap, but I think I get what you're saying, Barry. Chalk that up to another victim of the cut content. Anyways, why do I sense a dark and angry presence up ahead?
All right, that's a lot of goblin and ghouls. I take it this is that mid-game skill check that you were talking about earlier. What's the deal with this fight, Obama? Is it just an epic beat drop, or should we be worried about it?
All right, so this fight is probably the longest single fight in the game, even longer than the Hakon fight and the Corypheus double boss fight. It consists of 6 waves, each one increasing the amount of darkspawn we fight along the way, with the final wave being endless until you defeat the final boss. Considering we are on Nightmare with the Walk Softly trial and we are going to be here a while and use a lot of resources here, so yeah, Joe and Donald have the right idea. Everyone get comfortable.
At least we get some banger music while we kill enough darkspawn to make POTUS blush. I guess we should all find a few things to talk about. Anybody got any ideas?
Card games.
Mage and Circle oppression.
Base dwarves.
Mommy Morrigan?
Hang on. Cut content.
Now that was weak, Obama, so how about this? We talk about Mommy Morrigan's based mage opinions and banging POTUS while Themey plays card games. That way everyone wins, especially me. Ha ha.
I appreciate the initiative, Double D, but those are all topics we have covered in previous series, and this is already enough of a throwback episode, so maybe we should find something new. What cut content did you have in mind, Barry?
Why not something Deep Roads and Grey Warden related? I can't think of anything more relevant than that. It's not exactly cut content here, but in Inquisition there was supposed to be a Deep Roads section where we would meet 2 familiar Grey Warden veterans, although not at the same time. We all know the hero of Ferelden was supposed to play at least a minor role in Inquisition, however, due to all all the voice variations of each warden, this was scrapped. The plan was to meet them in the deep roads and fight through a wave of darkspawn similar to this, eventually stumbling on an old Grey Warden archive for answers on what Corypheus is and how to cure the calling. We still get hints of this in-game, as Leliana or Morrigan will mention the Warden's quest if they are in a relationship together.
I already know who the second cameo is, Obama, and there's no one better to cover this than myself.
Oh wow, it's just so rare when someone else wants to tackle the exposition, but alright, I can't argue with that. Let me see what you can do justice.
So if you couldn't figure it out yet, the second Grey Warden who was supposed to make an appearance in the Deep Roads was Anders himself if he had survived Dragon Age 2, obviously. I'm guessing the fact he could die greatly motivated BioWare to cut his cameo here. We know less about the quest line when compared to the hero of Ferelden's quest, but we do know that Anders would be down in the Deep Roads experiencing his calling. He would have developed a mad hermit-like design, growing a large beard, and not being fully coherent both because of the calling and because of his fusion with this handsome devil right here. It's unclear what his motives in the Deep Roads were, but very likely they would have been either helping the Wardens or helping the mages, given his loyalties.
All right, those are some good cameos, but are there any cameos concerning the base dwarves? I feel like I would have known if there was more content in this game concerning the little guys besides the dwarf wastes in this DLC here.
There were 2 small cameos. Dworkin the Bomber from Awakening was supposed to be hireable for the Inquisition and give us a quest to collect more schematics for bombs he could make. We would also have the ability to customize and upgrade the 3 fortresses we captured in the base game, even upgrading their walls through dwarven builders like Voldrick.
There was also the ability to determine if a fort would be more military-based, spy-based, or merchant-based, representing the 3 different advisors as well. It would be assumed that the dwarven walls would only be apparent if you went the military route. It would have been nice to customize more things in Inquisition. I feel like they hit the nail on the head with Skyhold as a home base, and being able to upgrade our forts would have given us more control over the area while also having something to sink our resources into during the late game.
It's crazy to think Inquisition was one of the forefront games to have base building mechanics before it took off a few years later in almost every game.
You know, a game mechanic where we can customize our forts with different additions, trade networks, defense, and decorations would have been so much fun. Bethesda and Minecraft really proved that even the average gamer can get really into customizing a home and resource gathering station, even when there is no combat and very little gameplay besides placing areas together. Plus, being able to extract resources from your base, depending on its focus, would have been cool too. Like maybe making the Crestwood Fort military-focused unlocks a few mines that will give you common resources. Then maybe unlocking the Western Approach Fort as spy-focused has scouts gather free herbs for you.
All right, that does sound really cool, sleepy, I can't lie, and I love the Inquisition hype, but try not to mention too much about Bethesda base building. Obama will spend 4 hours talking about the most optimal trade routes in Fallout 4 and the most energy-efficient turrets to use. And that doesn't even get into whatever the hell he talks about in Starfield.
I am telling you I had an outpost that could extract 7 different resources at once with all maxed perks. Then I stepped through the Unity and lost it all.
Hey, all, I am glad you can have your stroke fest of Bethesda RPGs and cut content, but we haven't really talked about anything happening in the game in like the last 4 minutes. Is Obama going to defeat this horde or get clapped up? The people have a right to know because I can't tell what's happening at the moment, but it looks bad since you cut ahead.
Oh yeah, we are fine, George. Trust me, I just wanted to cut ahead for the viewers since they could tell how most of the fight is going already. I think just the sheer mention of Starfield flashbanged my brain, and now I am trying to readjust. It's not a big deal though, I just have to use my ultimate here and get enough breathing room to pick everyone up.
Obama, more than half the darkspawn dogs and one of the alphas is still alive. You better run back to the corner, pick up that supply cache, and start chugging potions like your life depends on it.
I told you all I am fine. I still have plenty of grenades, a health potion, and most important of all, mobility. Hang on.
Yeah, nah, even I can follow pattern recognition. You're in trouble, Obama.
You're cooked.
Fucka flow. They killed me before I could heal. That's really goddamn annoying. Whatever, we are running it back though.
Well, this run ended up being just as bad, if not worse, as your first run, Barry. You got jumped by an emissary and didn't even take out one of the alphas yet.
Now this competition is getting interesting, boys. I think we might have a close race on our hands. Now this is peak content.
Holy shit. All right, this battle is absolutely ridiculous, and I can point out several goddamn reasons why this is unfair. First off, the emissary isn't supposed to spawn there. Second, the enemies are pushing us off the ledge more than they are actually damaging us. And third, several random darkspawn are getting empowered, making this fight take way longer than it needs to.
Smells like a skill issue. A second skill issue, and oh, what's this third note here? I see it says a final notice of skill issue. Keep in mind, Obama, that you asked to do this. DLC, no one forced you to do any of this.
Yeah, I get it, Donald. I may have been a little cocky here with this choice.
I'm actually fine with this because I don't have to play this long-ass fight, and this means everyone's last episode matters heavily for the death competition, and this one is winner take all.
That's right, because we will be resetting the death competition for Baldur's Gate 3 and Veilguard, and that's when things get far more intense. Boys, trust me.
Yeah, that should be interesting, although I'm wondering what kind of punishment we have to give someone who has the most deaths in Baldur's Gate 3.
Biggest loser has to become a squid at the end of the game.
Nah, I think we have to come up with something more intense. Being a squid can be seen as a reward, depending how you look at it. Anyways, Barry, you're doing better this time, but we still have a long way to go in the fight. Do you have a comment question ready for us to pass the time?
Sure thing, Joe. I think the viewers will be okay with an obvious pull this time around, since that's been on brand the last 2 times. So viewers, as we mentioned earlier, Dwarven history is far more scattered compared to Elven history, although both races are in decline currently. So what is your favorite lore topic concerning the Dwarves? Is it the caste system, the Titans, the Legion of the Dead, or hell, even golems? There's a lot of interesting lore points to tackle here. For me, I made this obvious long ago, but the shape raid itself is probably my favorite lore point in the series. The fact that it's a historian role that also plays an important part in active government responsibilities is fascinating. It's also a job so important that it transcends caste and can elevate the lower caste to the Diamond Quarter if they are book smart enough, which is the only role besides the Legion of the Dead or banging a noble that does this.
Good on you, Obama, but I have to give my favorite lore point to the Legion of the Dead themselves. Sure, they are overly edgy, but their armor is badass, and they are, in my opinion, the ultimate example of a true warrior main. Orzammar is so desperate for larger military presence that they are willing to forgive all crimes and assign people to fight darkspawn the rest of their days. The fact that we had a squad mate from there, hell, even a second squad mate if you count Rand over here, shows what a strong crew of warriors the Legion of the Dead is, and the fact we were able to improve their standing in Origins is all the more based.
All right, this might be controversial, but my favorite lore point is the Titans themselves. I know the caste system and the golems are fascinating from a world-building perspective, but Titans are a whole new level that shape a lot of the modern dwarves that we see today. The fact that we can't even get a measure of their power alone is crazy to me. We have no idea where they are on the power scale, since the ancient elves couldn't even fight these big things conventionally. Then there's the fact that these guys are responsible for the dwarves' separation from the Fade and how they handled dwarven magic. Not just the fact that dwarves never had magic is also fascinating, because it implies a different type of magic from how humans, elves, and Quanari use the Fade. There's so much we don't know, and probably will never know, but just theorizing alone is my favorite part.
Hold up, why is Cassandra just kind of floating like that? Where even is she?
This is what I am saying. The spawn are literally throwing us off the bridges, and now we have to take more fall damage or risk it all. I'm going to take it and cut ahead, but go off on your pick, George.
All right, there's so many good parts of the base dwarfs, it's hard to really decide. I think if I had to pick, though, it's the fact that dwarves are the ones that handle mining of one of the setting's most important resources. We all know dwarves love caves and the mines, but it's hard to explain why it has to be the dwarves in the mines, but this setting does it perfectly. Lyrium is just such a dangerous mineral that dwarves are the only one hardy enough to mine this stuff. Sure, humans can do it, but it won't end well, and that doesn't even account for the fact the richest veins are deep within caves as well. We don't even get a deep dive into the mining process, which is a shame, as we could know how deep this mining hole goes.
All right, good picks all around, boys. Now it's the viewer's turn. Let us know your favorite dwarf lore point in the comments below. As always, our editor reads everyone, and his favorite will be featured next episode. But with that all said, George, mind featuring our favorite comment from last episode?
Sure thing, Obama Llama. Our featured comment comes from George Gale, who supported Selene as the Empress of Orlais and is also excited for the based Harding love in Veilguard. I think Harding is amazing and probably my best friend in Veilguard too, being a dwarf and all, but her romance isn't technically confirmed yet. Me and Obama could still win the competition and clinch the win here. It's just now we have 2 people fighting for Harding.
All right, we got a good amount of based wallet super thanks that I want to get through as well. First off, we have our biggest financial supporter, Robert Wadsworth, with a massive $100 donation and a based plan to not only use that scummy house spirit as a stress ball, but also invade fantasy France. Good luck with that, my brother. Next up, we have a $25 donation from Trickster8701, who is in full support of our future divine choice in the royal robe, since she is the best middle option, being able to make changes while also being politically savvy enough to get those changes done. I'm glad you see the vision the way I do, brother. We also have $20 from Vardia Sapard with a base new video idea that we could definitely do if the money was right. Next up, we have a 15 European monies donation from another longtime supporter, Maxi. Glad you enjoyed the content, and I'm glad you can see the Selene bias in this game the same way there is a mage bias in this game. Finally, we have a $5 donation from Condemned Marine asking about Dead Space 2. And as we said before, we have an episode planned soon. My guy, I will finish my base Space Marine grind. Thank you all for your support. It's never expected, but it is greatly appreciated.
All right, we still have a few minutes left of this fight, so we might as well get into a shout-out that we saved for just this episode, since it's a based updated reunion in Tapsters. As always, our fan artist Tigar came through with another banger. We have the updated Tapsters meeting with some of our favorites from Origins and Dragon Age 2, all sharing some based Dwarven ale. We have Varric, Gorham, Ogren, Alistair, Velan, Sandel, Bo, and Carter, the two goodest boys, and of course the two legends, POTUS and Jobadon Hawk. Oh God, I have a little tear in my eye seeing our champion again, boys, but thank you again for all your work, Tigar. You really helped bring this community together, and we can't thank you enough for all you do.
You know, I noticed that we have 2 bars always filled, but that there are 3 bars available. Is that some kind of visual glitch, or what's going on with that?
Oh, right, thanks for pointing that out, George. Yeah, each tier of Ultimate Pass, the first one is actually an unlockable perk that we can grab through the green influence bar we have when we complete quests. We unlocked Tier 2 a while ago, but never unlocked Tier 3 since we have a trial that refreshes our ultimate all the time, so we can't spam it. We should probably grab it at some point, though, since it is useful in Trespasser, if nothing else.
I don't mind getting it at the end, but isn't there another perk we wanted to grab at some point?
Holy shit, I don't know exactly how much damage, but that boss health bar went down fast, and what was even faster were the normal darkspawn's health bar.
And of course, Obama got 2-bomb happy again and killed everyone else except the Anxiety Ghost and the 2 immortal dwarves.
Okay, but this time around, we only have the emissary left, so Cole and the 2 practice dummies can distract the mage while I pick everyone else up and finish the fight.
Hey, don't call my new favorite character a practice dummy, bro. Has put in massive work tanking the extra damage for us and deserves some respect.
All right, fine, my bad, George. They have been putting in work. Hell, they put in more work than expected, so I will give them that. Well, I would ask for a boon, easy money for clearing through probably the toughest fight in this game, but I know better than to ask for one after dying twice.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's impressive you did it. I don't think I've even done this fight on Nightmareberry, but rules are rules, and we all gotta follow them.
Imagine if the doors opened and then a giant broodmother appeared with an equally large health bar.
That would not be fun at all, honestly. I might have to cut the episode short.
Ah, to each their own, Nerdbama. Well, now we can set up our second to last campsite and figure out where we are going after killing like 300 darkspawn.
Damn, everyone is absolutely swimming in strawberry jelly at the moment like we are in an invincible scene. We really did good work, boys.
Should we be at all concerned about being covered in that much darkspawn blood? I mean, it is poison, and none of us are Grey Wardens.
Almost certainly. But if Hawk and his squad manage to be safe with the exception of Carver, then I guess everyone else will too. Darkspawn blood is very inconsistent when it comes to its fatality.
So were these stone elevators built by one dwarf, or is there a collection of dwarves that all know how to build elevators the same way?
Probably the former. I know this DLC made it seem like this area was massive, but we have really stayed in one tag the entire mission so far. Also, wait, hold up. Not only did the book survive the absolute bombardment we inflicted on him, but you're telling me a darkspawn had a goddamn book in his inventory? Like he held onto a book for some reason and didn't use it to wipe his ass or try to eat it?
I mean, I guess emissaries are slightly intelligent. That's why they can use magic and typically lead hordes on their own. It's not the craziest thing to imagine they took a book that looked important and decided to keep it from everyone else.
I mean, let's be real. We all know the book is a plot device to find out more about the Titans and the Titan Song. I wouldn't think too much into this, but I agree. They could have just had her find some stone tablet somewhere, make this all make a little more sense.
It would seem you're not the first to connect earthquakes to Titans.
Well, not to keep beating a dead Bronto, but there's no actual evidence that what happened then and now are the same.
Singing tremors, destroying a mine and threatening a Tig? You don't see any similarity?
I think you're reading what you want to read.
Perhaps this will change your mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsic Garal.
King Orsic Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
That was probably the most classic Dragon Age dwarf scene I've ever seen out of this game so far.
A veteran Dragon Age writer definitely wrote that line, and I love everything from the delivery to everything in between. Plus, trusting the living gods above all else is a pretty valid opinion. Also, the reason Valta was demoted by the shape rate varies obviously depending on who you made king in Origins. If we had elected Harrowmont, we would find out Valta wanted to record that his cousin was a Carta member.
Oh, right, and that was the same blackmail evidence we can use in Origins if we are a double agent for Bellin while working for Harrowmont. Good to see someone remain consistent with their writing.
To risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A childhood friend of King Balin had ancestral ties to the Carta. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
You know if memories are erased when someone is made castless. POTUS Adekin's memories must have been all over the place. POTUS was made a kinslayer who died in the deep. Then he was reinstated by Belen. Then he became a paragon and formed his own house.
Some dwarf was on his 10th cup of coffee keeping track of the main character lore memories. Shout out to that one guy.
I know we are all flabbergasted that Valta got demoted for trying to speak the truth, but this isn't the first time Belen has corrupted the shape rate with his narrative. And honestly, given his backhanded dealings he has made to stay in power, simply having her fired was a kindness. Bro must have been in a good mood.
I like to think POTUS being not only around again, but a paragon who can go over Belen's head, probably tempers him and keeps him not as renegade.
Earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way.
Anyways, Barry, before we take another elevator ride, we have a few more tasks to finish, right?
Yep. I have to go back to the main camp to build a few more structures to collect all the gears. And while I am here, I might as well make George happy and talk to Ren and Valta and learn a bit more about their backstory.
Ooh, hell yes, the homie Ren let me sit up in my chair here.
Held by the stone, then.
Bro isn't much better than Ogren when he learned about the sky. But something tells me he did not understand what the hell we meant by the fortress was baked into the mountain.
We really need to have surface art pictures that we can show traditional dwarves, so they understand how our buildings topside actually work.
That might make them throw up. Even just seeing a picture of the sky might be too overstimulating for them.
I'll have the time and ale to tell them.
Most of Ren's stories end with decapitation.
I'm an efficient guy.
Holy crap, this guy is a massive edgelord. I mean, I respect killing darkspawn and being a murder machine as much as the next guy, but can you have a few hobbies here and there too? Like maybe you wrangle nug nuggets as a side hobby to bulk or something?
Their friendship is pretty wholesome, even if they won't dive too much into it. Hell, they could easily be a cute couple. Well, let's talk to Valta and try not to be reminded of Liara every 5 seconds.
Challenge impossible with that sleepy. Girl is probably going to talk to us about 3 centuries of historical documents.
Although that would be interesting. I'm not going to go super in-depth here since we already have an extra long episode in front of us. I'll just ask her some basic information about the political climate in Orzammar. Keep this episode focused.
Orzammar nearly fell apart.
Yeah, game, we remember the Orzammar election very well. We got jumped like 20 or so times in the streets by Harrowmont simps, then we traumatized everyone learning what a broodmother is.
I'm very thankful that I haven't seen even one tentacle in this game. Given the amount of those goddamn things in Baldur's Gate and Veilguard, this break was very appreciated. This might end up being my 3rd favorite Dragon Age game.
Ranking Inquisition as your 3rd favorite in the public record is crazy, George. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's still crazy to say I can smell the debate from here.
Yeah, you hear that, Harrowmont supporters. King Belen keeps the assembly in line, which if you don't remember is amazing for Orzammar's future because all of them were self-absorbed jackasses.
Yeah, some people would call that tyranny, but if I dove too far into that rabbit hole, I would be breaking the no political content rule myself.
Living there?
I do sometimes. Particularly the easy.
Wait, hang on, were there actual baths in Orzammar? I don't remember seeing a single one in Origins or hell even a bathroom.
This isn't a Bethesda game, George. We don't put toilets in this game, so no one tries to drink them.
Anyways, Obama, what's the plan now that we talked to the 2 dwarves?
I'm going to head back to the main camp, spend some of our 300 power to build some structures, and finish up this collection quest for more shots.
So now I am curious, Barry, besides that Valta flavor dialogue, are there any other major differences in this game between Belen and Harrowmont? All this dwarf talk has me feeling nostalgic.
Yeah, there's 2 major story differences. Both are in the background, but they are interesting. This first one Donald might find funny. Flavor dialogue in the Winter Palace during Wicked Eyes and Hearts has some gossip about Orzammar's opinion on the election. Belen sides with Selene because of her increased willingness for surface trade, which benefits his goals. While Harrowmont actually sides with Gaspard, for some reason even selling dwarven weapons and armor to him to put money in Orzammar's pockets.
Oh damn, the French are funding the industrial dwarf military complex.
Wait. So you're telling me not only do 2 of Donald's favorite companions side with Selene, but Donald's king choice sides with her too, and the person he hates is pro-Gaspard. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up.
Hey, Sleepy, last I checked, you didn't pick the option your basic bard approves of, so why don't you just hop off already? Anyways, here's the last lyrium experimenter note, so take another shot, viewers, and keep those glasses up because we are going to finish the gear collection quest next.
Wait, hang on, wasn't there a second lore point about the king differences you wanted to cover, Obama?
Yeah, you're right on the money, George, there was, but the bickering distracted me. I'll go over it in 1 minute. Let me just explain what I am about to do here. A lot of the gears for the Tag require you to go back to the first level where Ren was mourning the dwarf corpses and then taking some hill pathways down instead of the elevator. You can technically take this path to progress through the main story and skip a few fights, which is cool game design, but it's not easier than just killing a few basic darkspawn.
Cool story, Barry. Just don't fall. We have enough problem with heights without gravity, giving you another death. Anyways, what's the other difference, Barry? I think we could all use a distraction from the heights.
Nah, screw it, he is stalling. I'll just go over it myself. So the second king difference concerns the fate of our one true goat POTUS themselves. Since he has been off exploring and banging Mommy Morrigan in the mirror world for a decade or so, not many people outside of his inner circle know where he is, including all of Orzammar. That's especially a big deal because POTUS is the only living paragon in Orzammar since Branka is either dead or missing by this point. Now here's where the king difference comes in. Harrowmont declares POTUS dead and builds a statue of him in the Hall of Paragons, even skimping out on materials and making it notably smaller than other statues. King Balin, on the other hand, refuses to declare POTUS dead despite the Assembly's insistence and sends multiple squads of soldiers to try and locate POTUS, refusing to give up on Orzammar's last living paragon.
All right, that's pretty disrespectful of Harrowmont, not going to lie. Not only did the hero of Ferelden help get you into office, but that was your best friend's son. You should be looking out for them more. I still would vote for him, but come on.
You're a total cuck, Sleepy.
All right, it might ruin the bit, but it's important to note that both Dwarf Noble and Dwarf Commoner can become Paragon at the end of Origins. And this interaction happens either way with a Dwarven hero of Ferelden. So Harrowmont and Balin have almost no connection with a Dwarf Commoner, but he still sends squads to go and find him.
Wait, that's not entirely true, Obama, because a Dwarf Commoner's sister is married to Balin, so they are still half-siblings. That's the kind of connection that he could use politically, or at the very least his wife won't stop nagging him to find their base dwarf sister or brother.
Holy shit, I forgot you have been playing Origins as a Dwarf George. That's an epic pull to sideswipe Obama.
I'd be more annoyed at the side punch, but I am more so just impressed at the lore pull from you, George. Good work, I didn't think about that. I guess taking that into consideration, both king candidates are acting in character and in lore. Harrowmont is bowing to the Assembly either way, although it looks terrible for him in a Dwarf Noble's case because of his connection to the family. And in Belin's case, he has a personal connection with the Warden, and more importantly a Paragon, and probably wants them found for personal reasons and for his own political gain. Glad we figured it out together, boys.
Yeah, more like we all took you on and won Obama, and now you're doing your neutral political shit, try and appear impartial and recover from the loss. Anyways, I guess here's another one of those caches that we can use if we are going the parkour route to get around instead of the Grey Warden fighting route. I noticed there's a lot of jewelry in these side caches too.
Ooh, shit, Donald, is it about time we do our mount showcase that we have been cooking?
Right on the money, Joe. Since we will have plenty of cash this episode, we can grab your favorite mount. I will grab mine from the war table, and we can ride around them next episode and show each of them off for the viewers and let them decide. I guess it will just be me and you since Obama wants to harsh the vibe.
All right, well, if you're going to be this elaborate and put in this much work, then I will throw in my favorite mount as well. We already unlocked it by completing the Dalish War Table quest anyway, so it's no extra trouble to unlock.
Let's go! Now we made Sleepy Joe and Obama sit in the cuck chair and take it. That's what I like to see.
There's still no dragon mount, so this showcase is a massive 0 out of 10 in my eyes. Are you three almost done with exploring the deep roads again, by the way?
Yeah, we are. I'm surprised you care, though, Themey.
Just like my spirit bro with the Fade. The deeper we go into the roads, the more at home I feel. So I'm trying to get you all to progress already.
You know what? Fair enough, my man. We'll call us Disney, because now that we are grabbing the last gear here, we can make your wish come true.
All right, well, following the rules, that's a second gear collection quest completed, so take another shot, viewers. Now we can go down by the Dwarf River.
Viewers, can you tell what one of our favorite jokes in this series is?
Not only that, but it's time to flex that massive cutscene budget on everyone again.
Don't forget that banger soundtrack on everyone, too. Still top 5 OSTs in the series.
Looks like the last dwarves who went down here didn't leave any lights on for us. Good thing we have 2 dwarves and 2 elves on the scene, which means plenty of dark vision for us.
What was that?
What was what?
My boy Cole will probably be fine. He can just sense emotions. But Cassandra is going to be fighting blind. This should be interesting.
How many times do I have to tell you 2 dark vision is not a thing in this game? There's no blindness or darkness effects. We all fight on even ground because of observation hacky or something.
We already have a natural torch with our damn enchanted bow. I don't think a normal torch is going to do fuck all.
So you say dark vision doesn't matter, but Valta here wants a torch lit. Who should I believe?
For fuck's sake, she asked for a torch because there is no dark vision that proves my main point, Joe.
What the hell does she mean? Past the deep roads, are we in the Earth Center where the Legion of Doom meets? Also, did we switch genres from role-playing game to suspense analog horror when I wasn't looking? Why is walking down this cave so damn ominous?
If the game is trying to scare us, they should know this isn't going to work, and they should throw in a necromorph in a bathroom if they want to make us feel something.
The feeling of isolation while you know you are being watched gives some great thematic presence, though I can't lie.
The anxiety ghost talking is not helping our nerves at all. Just stay on watch and stop yapping.
I do not like all of them eyes looking at us over there. I sense a disturbance in the force, gentlemen.
All right, I am just going to say this now, George. I am so sorry for what is about to happen.
Wait, what that mean? Are we getting jump scared or something?
Was that a fucking gun?
Ren!
What the fuck kind of sci-fi bullshit just came across my screen? And oh, of course we dodge it as soon as it turns on us. I get we are a rogue, but still you're telling me we didn't even get a saving throw here or nothing.
Yeah, this is what I was afraid of from the start.
Oh, damn, I'm sorry about your loss, George. Your main guy ain't looking so hot.
The fuck you mean loss? We ain't losing nothing here. My goat Ren is fine. This is but a flesh wound. See, that's what I am talking about. Now let's go beat the shit out of these gun-wielding and oddly dressed darkspawn.
Oh boy, Obama, how the hell do we tell him about the fact that these things are not darkspawn too?
It's simple, we don't tell him that, and we focus up on the fight ahead of us here. That introduces the enemy type we are going to be fighting for the next hour or so of the video.
Well, whatever the hell these things are, they are dirty cowards who strike from the shadows, and the pure constitutional might of the dwarves will win the day here for us. I will personally make sure none of you strangely dressed alien bastards can phone home to your families.
You know I get they are firing blind and fast as hell. But am I the only one that finds it funny that these guys are prioritizing hitting Solas above everyone else? Like, straight up, he is the only one taking noticeable damage here.
Ha ha, wait, holy shit, and now he is the only one getting downed right now? You might be onto something sleepy. Those lyrium guns must be able to heat, seek the lies and treachery of the egg, and act accordingly.
All right, these things aren't guns, they are automatic crossbow bolts, just like Bianca, albeit they fire consistently faster than she does. Also, they shoot raw lyrium bolts instead of like normal arrows. It's a good thing Cole has chain lightning on his dagger, because that's exactly what these guys are weak to as well.
All right, that calls it for those shadowy fucks, and see you all were stressing for nothing. The goat Ren is fine and standing proud like a Stardust Crusader.
Yeah, sure thing, George. I am sure he just collapsed eyes closed so he can take a nap or something. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, for the love of Christ. This isn't a 4Kids episode. George Wren is dead as dead can be.
Are you fucking serious right now? So first the homie tug and now this? Why the hell does BioWare always kill the dwarves first? This is completely unfair and unethical treatment of the little guys. I demand justice for dwarves everywhere.
Yeah, I was trying to warn you not to get too attached, but I just didn't really have the heart to tell you what was going to happen. At least you can relate to how Valta feels. She was close with both Ren and his entire family.
We'll pour out all the shots for the homie Ren. He was taken from us too soon. If only Bro could have been made a cobbler instead of joining the warrior cult that gives you a funeral for initiation.
I mean, hey, if it helps, George, since this guy was a member of the Legion of the Dead, he was technically already dead when we found him, so we didn't lose anything.
Yeah, that helps me about as much as suntan lotion in the middle of the sun's core, Donnie. I am going to be real with you.
The armor on these warriors. There's lyrium woven directly into the metal, and it's bonded to their skin. Impossible to remove, but I know what we'd find underneath. These are dwarves.
Wait, you're telling me base dwarves killed our homie Ren? My favorite Inquisition dragon character was killed by his own people? Why the hell is the news covering shit like wars and the gas prices and not the infinitely more important dwarf on dwarf crimes?
Wait, hang on, he is kind of spitting facts, now let him cook.
No, he is not, Donald. The dwarf on dwarf crime is crazy, but the Shabrital are only dwarves genetically, not societally.
I won't leave Ren like this. We must return him to the stone. Thrust Tonsha Sauroka. I'll see this through, Ren. I promise.
It sings softly under the silence. The stone took him back. He's home again.
Somehow that brings me comfort.
My boy Cole putting his empath powers to good work as always. Like I said, Ren is in a good place in the stone now.
Holy shit are those dwarven reindeer. The dwarves have their own rhinos and reindeer now. That's amazing.
No, those are the Kretal, an ancient creature native to the deep roads and known for their strength. Some people claim the darkspawn wiped them out. Others say they never existed.
Well, clearly that isn't the case because the lyrium crack addict dwarves have these things tamed, leashed, and probably milked. So what the hell happened?
Well, this is entirely speculation on my part, but considering the Kretal are stronger than Brontos and more vicious, I imagine while they were both domesticated, but while Brontos could be beasts of burden, Kretal were used as military animals for fighting, and when the Blight happened, most dwarves overused them in defense of Orzammar, and all the Kretal that they had records of were wiped out. The only ones left probably retreated into the deep roads and were cultivated by the Shabratol.
I could definitely see it. These things hit way harder than any Bronto ever has, and they have impaling antlers.
Yeah, but they are literally only useful for war, so something tells me these little guys aren't known for much culture like music, songs, or art. It's all murder and bullshit with these guys.
And they just so happen to have a shit ton of lyrium in their society. I think these guys need some freedom. What say you three gentlemen?
Yeah, we will not be doing that, especially because sending an army down here would be a bitch and a half. Well, up ahead, we have another short collection quest, the Chronicles of the Forgotten War. This codex introduces an entire new species called the Scaled Ones, who we know nothing about. Apparently, they look like humans, but have scales and dislocated jaws. When attacked with martial weapons, they simply bounce off their scaled armor, which I assume is their skin. We don't know anything besides that, as these things are never brought up again.
Oh boy, we had one fight before another cutscene, my favorite.
Don't worry, Sleepy, now that we are down to just one temporary squad mate, the cutscenes are about to shrink and time sinks.
Too soon, Donald, too soon.
Only fragments. The language is very different from what we speak today. This word keeps appearing. Shabratol. I believe it means revered
So the fact they call themselves an ancient dwarven word means they still have some culture to them, right, Barry?
To be fair, they don't speak any words. They just fight endlessly. We never even hear one call the other that. It's possible these things are completely lyrium-addled or something more sinister, completely surviving on lyrium like the rock wraiths in Dragon Age 2.
Wait, hang on, that is not how that word is pronounced in Veilguard. Did I just identify a lore inconsistency, or is this girl just trying to pronounce it herself?
Oh wow, even I didn't catch that good work, George. I hate to give Veilguard credit for dialogue since that's like its worst feature, but I believe the proper pronunciation is Isatunal, since that was a Titan literally pronouncing a word that they probably invented.
Oh, terrific, because that will go over great in the comments.
Valta, given this setting, when you say you hear a dead man's objections, you might want to be specific. This is a setting with ghosts and spirits after all.
This isn't Dead Space Joey, and she isn't having a marker hallucination. She just misses her friend who died like 2 minutes earlier.
Well, up ahead we have most of the gear collections for the area in this dank and dark cave, as well as the next note for the Forgotten Wars. A pretty good haul for this being like the third area in the third dungeon.
Tim, I guess his fancy technology and dark vision didn't help his ass because we still caught him off guard with the flank.
I'm starting to think they didn't put too much work into this third dungeon here, given the length of it, compared to the other two, and the fact that this fight up ahead here is kind of a cluster of stuff going on. I mean, we have enemies high and enemies low and shit flying left and right. All of this happening in the dark.
I was just about to say, this feels like a game of Overwatch, but with the brightness turned all the way down, so I don't even know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I can't really blame you all. I am going to pop another ultimate to clear through these guys, and then we can move on to the collection quest and greener pastures.
I think this area is just shitty for archers and ranged units. Warrior mains getting right up and slapping the short off these dwarves should have no consequences here. But trying to dash around and get all fancy in this 2-center long cave is a goddamn nightmare.
Score that one for the Unga Bunga warrior mains. They definitely made this cave before realizing how mobility-based Inquisition combat really is.
Which is super confusing considering this was downloadable content made after the initial game release. I just think this wasn't tested well and we should move on to something more interesting after we collect everything in this room.
Sounds like a plan, Obama Llama. Hey, have y'all noticed how every bridge here looks the same and oh, holy shit, a terrorist attack.
As the resident explosion expert, I can safely say that no shit, that wasn't just a normal quake. What the hell gave you that idea? Miss, I am so in touch with the stone.
Someone does not wish to be disturbed. There must be another way.
Oh, really? Someone doesn't want us finding something, huh? Would that happen to be you, Egg Boy?
It's a damn shame he hasn't reacted much, but I just know internally bro is sweating up a storm like that one blue shirt mean. I'm surprised he doesn't just feed us more counterintelligence.
He does give us a few subtle hints about being careful going through here, and that if it's true, it would be fascinating and dangerous, but not much else. I have to wonder if he knew how badly he messed up the dwarves after what he did with the Titans, or if he could barely even recognize the grand scope of what he did.
Look, that bastard is a lot of things, but he does know exactly what he is doing and the lore behind it. He absolutely just did it because he thought it would be the best thing for the magical tree huggers.
Sorry, I know that lore was important and I am eating up the soulless slander, but I just find it funny the Shaper over here told us to be careful, but instead they put all the important collection loot at the tip of the edge.
More ancient carpets.
Yeah, I can't lie, I noticed that too. I was half expecting Barry to fall while grabbing one of them. Anyway, sorry, Barry. I know this is a cutscene. I'll focus back on the lore.
You couldn't see it, but Obama was giving Sleepy a cold dagger stare.
It sculpts the world within and without.
I mean, most of this scene is stuff we know, like Titans are massive and they shape the literal stone around our world, which is why dwarves worship and live underground. It's probably why Valta is only giving us one-word answers, but it's still important and creates some intrigue about what we are about to find.
What we are about to find is going to make us a shit ton of money if we actually invest properly. The Mage Emporium can open back up for business, even with the money moves.
We are never reopening that store. It's a time sink, and the name is already copyrighted.
More Chabreton. We must be getting close to a Titan. Your theory about the source of the quakes is looking more like fact.
But if this is true, how could it be missing from the memories of Orzammar? Why would someone erase such an integral part of our history?
Let's answer that after we stop the earthquakes.
All right, boys, get your cameras ready because we are about to have a beautiful photo opportunity here.
It's singing. A they that's an it that's asleep, but still making music.
Goddamn Cole, I only understood the music part, but I agree this place is so beautiful, it's damn right song-worthy.
Yeah, you get to work on the art factor if you want, but I am bringing every able-bodied soldier and making my own lyrium mine here to supply our Templars and the rest of the country with that beautiful blue dream pack.
You know, it's funny because Varric has the same idea as you do, Donald. He wants to leak this area to the Merchants Guild as a way to have every single member owe him a big favor.
He is a based grind setter, but Merchants Guild is just the start. I'm going to draft some numbers while we loot.
Well, while he does that, should I just go ahead and address the elephant in the room here that the game is building up but doesn't answer as far as I can tell? If the base dwarves keep all their history written in lyrium and stone, then how could they forget something as big and important as the Titans?
Yeah, that's a good question, George, and I have to imagine the answer could be however you want to look at it. But I blame the sudden separation between the Titans and dwarves themselves for why they forget it. I mean, if Solus never tried to clip farm the entire Titan race, maybe we could have more easily found out their secrets and the death competition would be going more so my way.
Hey, don't put that bullshit slander on your channel, you dirty rat. The Titans were self-defense. I didn't even want to be here. And as soon as I do, those fat fucks started throwing rocks and walls at me. What is a man supposed to do?
How about die with the rest of your lying, traitorous kind and stay in the bed you shit in? Just a thought.
First off, you're not a man, you're an egg. And second of all, if you're here to duel or try to divide us, you can fuck right off with all that.
I'm not here to plot this time, believe me. When I do give you all what you deserve, you will know. I'm just here to defend my name against the rocks, and also to ask you what the hell you did with the betrayal spirit's body.
What the hell is a betrayal spirit? We never met anything like that.
Joe, I think he means the How voice. You know, the one you pulled the anime moment with before using Themi to send him to the Shadow Realm.
His body would still be in the Winter Palace, or at least the remaining fragments of what he was. You all left nothing but dust, and that makes no sense.
Hey, help the uninitiated Texan out here. Why do you even care about something the boys killed anyway?
That's classified. Let's just say I'm a firm believer in recycling, and wherever he wound up, I will find him again. Anyways, Obama, I hope you have enjoyed the difficulty spike. I'm sure you're clever enough to handle it. Ha 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 ha.
Why did he sound so ominous when he said that?
Oh, please, he is as ominous as a fart in the wind. He is just laughing at your death spike this episode because it is really funny.
Donald, I don't think that was a random coincidence. He did something similar with the dragon. He might be trying to screw with me here, and that's what he meant by lose everything. Dragon Age and my friends is my everything.
Obama, I love your passion. It makes you great in this chair and at the D&D table, but sometimes you have to stop talking crazy. You spooked Poe out a few episodes again, rambling about a fear demon, and I had to talk him into trusting you again, and now you're here thinking someone edited the competition against you.
Yeah, Barry Solus is a lot of things, but he doesn't have much power here besides the mental game. Don't let him get to you. Just like that movie name, you can do bad all by yourself. Oh, but like you can also overcome the bad and take it in the back and make it good.
All right, I will take it. Anyways, up ahead here we have another massive collection with a gear, a mug, and another diary of the Forgotten Wars. Everyone better prepare their shot glasses because we have a lot of collecting to do and a good 4 shots to go back to back.
Was that point we captured up ahead important at all for the collection quest, or was it just a quick influence farm?
Nah, it's just an influence farm that unlocks a alpha cretal that we can fight, but it's mostly a nothing burger, so we won't be showing it on screen. What we will be showing on screen here is the next 2 gears as they count for the 3rd dungeon instead of the Bastion. So take another shot, viewers, for that gear quest done, and get ready to meet Deep Road's nobility in just a moment.
Oh shoot, we are about to meet the king. Let me put on my good tux.
Wait, what king are we meeting? We are in the Deep Road, so obviously my first thought is a dwarven king, but we are pretty far away from where a king would be.
No, George, as Valta said earlier, we are past the Deep Roads, and there is really only one king that rules down here.
That's true. Archdemons rule the deep, but he rules the deeper roads.
The only one more powerful and magically impressive than him is Lord Sandal himself. You best come correct, George.
Words are carved into the stone. Only those who believe may cross.
What in the malarkey was that drop right now? How did you know to do that?
A leap of faith, George. That's what the plaque said to do after all. Now I hope you remembered that cheese wheel we grabbed earlier because it's time for that surprise tool to come in handy.
Brothers, let us all link arms and say it with us viewers. Only the true believers can bear witness.
That's a lot of little subterranean bunny pigs, and none of them are trying to eat the cheese. What is going on?
For offerings.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 2, 2, 3, 4.
In the deep there lived nothing once.
But then Sandal said, let the roads be plentiful.
And behold, the deep was filled with life, love, and food abound, but it was wild and free.
What the hell is happening right now?
So one being sought to bring order to the chaos of the deep, and through blood, sweat, and power he emerged.
But this being was beyond any comprehension of power. His pride only matched by his elusiveness. If one wanted to view this leader, they would need proper tribute.
And with this offering, we humbly beg Lord Sandal, let us bear witness to a being like no other.
What the hell is this aura right now?
A being of strength.
Of knowledge.
Of myth.
And of magic.
The Nug King.
Oh my God, that's the most adorable shit I have ever seen in my life. He even has a little crown. This thing looks like a shiny Pokemon.
He is the king of the Nuggets, and even the Inquisitor bows respectfully to him.
Are you putting me on trial?
They are speaking the language of the gods.
I'm feeling very judged.
So yeah, George, that was the Nug King cameo. Easily top 5 scenes in this game. No one at us on that. Now let's progress the plot a little to keep up the collection quest and the main story. We have to take out this one guy here and grab his device to clear the way.
This guy knows he is the only way through and is just aura farming on top of the cliff and resisting all our scorpion pulls to remove him from there. What an absolute legend.
All right, I can already tell this is going to get super glitchy, super fast. Since the second anyone steps off the cliff, they are going to fall and go down to 1 health point. And if the guy so much as breathes on any of them, they can die.
Well, just make sure Solus and the Inquisitor don't fall forehead.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Joe. I didn't think about that.
Valta is just standing there like that one girl emoji and watching us all dogpile on this dude.
Well, despite 0 dwarf assistance on her part, we took out the guy, and now we need someone to carefully loot him without falling off the ledge.
Don't fall, Nerdbama. We need that item, and more importantly, the gold he has.
Easier said than done, Donald. I feel like I am trying to perform surgery over here when the looting should be instant. I am just going to switch to another character, have them grab it, and hope our Inquisitor unlocks his teleportation quirk. Now let's go make some big booms, shall we?
Oh damn, Solus tanked the absolute crap out that explosion. +5 to durability feats for our resident egg.
Yeah, but he looked directly at the explosion -5 aura. Therefore, all other bonuses are forfeit.
Yeah, no duh, the item was destroyed in the blast it exploded. If you can find me something that can explode and then reform, I will pay you taxpayer dollars for it. Anyways, we have a few operations to unlock that we will double back to later. We have to build a bridge here, and then directly north we have to excavate this cave here for some more collection quests.
This may be tedious, but I appreciate the immersion that we need workers and builders to take care of these issues, since it's not like the Inquisitor knows how to build a bridge on his own. He needs others to help him out.
Yeah, glorious immersion and all that. I still wish we could just build structures immediately with Toon Force or Minecraft powers. Save us all the time.
Levitation magic could be really cool here too. Considering they already gave mages teleportation and force dashes, we might as well go all the way with temporary magical flight.
Look at what they need to imitate a fraction of our dragon power.
So is this cave over here our intended path, Obama? Because it looks like we might be lost in another dark, dank cave.
It's not the main quest, but it is just as important. Not only is one of the dwarven mugs here, but there's a hidden boss we can tackle here too, and they actually have a unique mechanic to them for once.
Oh yay, a unique mechanic. This is clearly top-tier level design and definitely won't be the same type of enemy we have fought dozens of times before. Quick question though, Obama, given your track record and your paranoia so far, this episode, is it a really good idea for you to be fighting secret bosses?
I was just about to say the same thing. I don't think anyone would blame you if you just progressed with the main story. I mean, this episode is already long enough with all the collection quests, deaths, and failed parkour attempts to grab bloody gears. Seriously, it's like you're playing repo drunk right now.
All right, you made that last one up because I am not failing grabbing the gear. I just had to go around and the pickup was delayed. Nothing to stress over. Besides, the whole point of this DLC is exploring a dungeon in combat. What kind of Dragon Age fan would I be if I didn't at least show off the highlight reel of this DLC? Plus, to fulfill your wish, I won't look at the explosion I set up, even if it's tempting.
I think we restored whatever Aura Solis cost us earlier with that one. Good work, Barry. Also, damn, this looks like an Orlesian storage closet down here. What's with all the dead bodies and red Kool-Aid on the ground? Oh shit, another arcane horror.
Not just any arcane horror, but a necromancer one at that. I mean, it's just simple creature necromancy, but it's a start at least. Too bad they didn't give this guy a cool name, though.
If there's one thing I've learned in the Deep Roads, it's that every secret boss is either an arcane horror or a revenant. I'm surprised in a game with combat this massive, though, that it just isn't both.
Don't wish that on Obama. He can barely take one of these things in a fight at a time. If they gave you both, he would be cooked. I mean, he is already not playing this great as is.
But please, I am fine. I'm taking a deep breath. I have a few ultimates saved up, and I haven't actually struggled with any boss fight yet in this game, just bad luck with random roadblocks, so I should be fine.
Oh shit, I know I say this all the time, but that was the most obvious heavy foreshadowing of my career right there, Obama Llama.
Yeah, this episode is not the right time to make sweeping declarations like that, Barry. I mean, now your squad mates are dropping as soon as you said that. You are either dying now, or you're dying in the next couple boss fights. No way around it.
Trump stocks. Get your Trump stocks here. Invest now before my final episode up next. This is going to be the easiest fucking comeback since the Patriots versus Falcons at the Super Bowl.
No one is getting that reference, Donald, and no one is getting a death here. Not when I have the power of backing up to a higher position where the boss won't follow me. Now lock in and keep your eyes on me because I am about to pop off. Once I take out this last dwarf reindeer here, I am going to sneak around and pick everyone up. This boss clearly has to stay in one spot, so I should be able to pick up everyone then. I just have to do some calculations real fast.
Calculations? I was promised a role-playing game with waifus, not goddamn Geometry Dash. What are you cooking, Barry?
Carry the impact force. Measure K over 2 times mass and velocity, and adjust for trajectory control. The drones won't seem harmless. Re-add the impact force with K over 3 times mass and velocity, and adjust for airspeed. The drones won't seem harmless.
What the hell is happening, and where the hell did all his health go?
Oh God, I think we just triggered his drone strike days. I haven't seen him act this serious since our old R6 Siege ranked matches.
I'm confused. What the hell did any of that mean?
Google it, but it's something about drone efficiency or some kind of nonsense. That's what it's always about, after all.
All right, boys, with the boss defeated, the vestments of the pure gathered, and the collections checked off, let's go back to the main quest. We are pretty close to finishing our second to last dungeon up ahead here.
With those weapons and armor, few would have had a chance.
We need to stop the earthquakes before we lose anyone else.
Well, while we clear through the last few fights here, I have to be honest about something, boys. But first, I want all your opinions first. What do you all think about this DLC now that you're playing it again? Does it slap, or does it just have hype moments, but it's otherwise a slog?
Sleepy, that sounds like a comment question. You know we already asked one this episode, right?
Well, you all know I am a massive Deep Roads enjoyer, and I stand by that here. Legacy is still my favorite DLC of the entire series, but Descent is a good second or third favorite in my eyes. I enjoy the absolute banger soundtracks. The 2 new characters we meet are believable Orzammar citizens, and while this DLC is very combat heavy, there's still enough lore bits to sink your teeth into and really digest. The most obvious being the Titans, but also the Shabri Toll, the Lyrium Trade, and the Scaled Ones are all story points that could have been expanded on in later entries if BioWare had any motivation to do so.
I'm with Nerdbama here. This is an epic dungeon crawl filled with great loot, great money, great dwarves, and great music. I'm just sad I didn't get to show off my base gameplay myself and really pop off for the viewers this episode. But to summarize, this DLC is a dungeon crawler, focused around the combat and gear, and giving a greater challenge than the base game, as well as giving us everything we need like resources in game, like money and loot. It's absolutely perfect with what it does, and I can't ask for more.
All right, well, it's time to get to why I asked the question. Honestly, I think the DLC is kind of mid. The lack of Hepler here is noticeable. The Deep Roads just didn't have the same tension or sense of mystery as Legacy or Origins. It just felt like an intense bit of combat, and honestly, the combat was just making more enemies that are tankier. And sure, the Titan lore is cool, but like, where's the payoff? We almost learn as much about the Titans here in a 3-hour DLC as we do in all of Veilguard. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad mission by any means. It just feels like we are missing a lot of steps here with both lore and interesting gameplay that could have taken this quest from decent to top tier.
All right, L, take is always sleepy, but you're easily going to be outvoted this time around because there is still one more voice to be heard, and it's the base dwarf lover themselves. Go ahead, George, talk about how much this game hypes up the dwarves and the Titan lore.
All right, I am going to reserve judgment until we fully reach the ending because I have never seen this DLC before, but based on what I have seen in the last 2 hours, I can't lie. Compared to Legacy last game, this DLC is kind of mid. I love Deep Roads and Dwarves, and that's the main reason this DLC is lackluster, because it doesn't do them justice enough in my eyes. We had 2 Dwarven characters, Ren and Volta. Ren fucking died, and now all we are getting out of Volta is Titan lore. The Titans are cool, but I feel like we are building up a mystery reveal here, and it better be worth it because you literally killed off 50% of your Dwarven representation for shock value. Also, this is just minor, but besides the Hat Guy companions have been pretty radio silent during this mission, and I prefer when they are super chatty like in Baldur's Gate or Veilguard.
All right, I can't lie, George. I did not see that coming. I was actually very convinced that this would be an easy sweep for the Pro Descent lobby, but I guess we have a little bit of a debate to settle. I would say maybe the next DLC that we are tackling next episode would be more your speed, but I don't think you will be there for that.
That would involve me and Bill being in the same room for something other than the premiere, so I think we have a higher chance of winning the lottery, or you beating your foreshadow 5th death of the episode.
Boom, got him.
Yeah, I can't lie, Barry. Every fight this episode has been kind of sketch for you. Even now, I don't really get what the holdup is. You have 4 out of 5 of the explosives needed to blow the wall. Shouldn't you just have to kill one more of these guys, then blow the wall and get out of here?
No, the idea is this fight is supposed to be more of a stand-your-ground type of fight where we slowly gather up explosives around the area by killing enemies one at a time and then finishing off any stragglers after we blow the wall. Since we have been saving enough of the explosives, though, we can shorten this fight significantly because, believe it or not, we still have one more dungeon and backtracking sequence left to go.
I better text my loved ones and let them know I might never return home from war again. Thanks for letting me know, Nerd Bama.
To be fair, this will still probably only tie or get close to our mark of the Assassin episode. Somehow, that was still our longest episode of the series.
Low-key, maybe we should change that, make our Skyrim special like 3 hours long, or hell, maybe make a video where we complete a Pokemon game in like 4 hours or something.
Yeah, we are not getting into Pokemon. Our editor already covers those himself during streams. And we kind of work with a lot of talented multiverse president YouTubers who all have that market well in hand. Like, I don't know, maybe we could do our own spin on it one day, but for right now, we will stick to killing aliens and fantasy for our revenue.
Well, there's our yearly take on whether we will do X game that has already been done before. I think it's about time we move on to greener pastures here, Barry. Let's use our ultimate take these guys down and then take care of the last bit of collections we have to do.
Sounds good to me, Joe, although if I am going to pop off like this, it's probably going to be at the cost of everyone else on the squad. I really hope for your sake, Donald, that you're taking note of how easy it is to screw yourself and your team with the Artificer Ultimates and Friendly Fire.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, but I have a feeling that my Mage Hater squad is going to be just fine. Anyways, looks like we have one more debate with Volta about the Titans.
I like how the companions know they have nothing to add here, so they just all sit in the corner and quietly listen to the main characters discuss the plot.
We must be getting close to whatever they're protecting.
Only the pure may pass. All others will be punished. Assuming the Shabratal are the pure...
We're the others who aren't allowed to pass.
Could the earthquakes be the punishment?
So this last hour of fighting has been due to what equates to dwarf racism against one pure race of dwarves and one non-pure race of dwarves.
And the new earthquakes destroyed your mind.
I guess mortals are the same regardless of on the surface or down in the deep.
What's even more ironic is that scholars in the Inquisition theorize that the Shabratal are not chosen by the Titans at all, and are more or less doing this either out of tradition or because the fact they subsist off lyrium has made them rabid like the rock wraiths. You can just pick your favorite here. There's evidence for both.
I could just hear the Liara in these lines. She is really trying to grasp at straws to figure this out, when in reality the most likely reason is these guys are just nuts, and they probably have missing pieces in their brain.
Yeah, I'm going with the fact they are smoking that deep blue pack as non-Templars, and the drugs are catching up to them. Just stick to the mines, big dog. You are not built for the lyrium maxing experience.
We may have missed the dialogue prompt, but Valta theorizes that they must have had their own tag to build weapons and armor and keep their young. It's likely they have some type of culture lyrium addled or no. Anyways, we cut ahead here and built the final 3 projects to finish up the collections once and for all. First up, we have the 3rd bridge in the center where we can get 2 more gears, as well as a rare shield Isatun, all probably top 10 shields, although it's debatable if it's really better than the shield we got in the Dew Lions.
I love this shield because it automatically can cast Walking Fortress on the user, and it also has 4 lyrium stars embedded in the front to show off your legendary Templar status to all the rebel mages.
That's probably one of the few good-looking items in this DLC. The weapons all look really cool, but the armors are all the ugly Shabritol armors that are pretty mid, besides the heavy armor variant. I'm not going to say too much on that though, since the armors and weapons are definitely the highlight of this entire mission. Stat-wise, they really are worth it if you aren't going hardcore into building your own weapons and armor.
That is a good point that we haven't covered yet. Most of our armors throughout the series have been crafted, while our weapons have been, for the most part, pre-built items. The only weapons we have built ourselves is our Inquisitor's bow, since the pre-built bows don't have enough kick. So, if you see an elaborate armor anywhere in our series, it was likely an armor we built ourselves using the Golden Nug transfer. Anyways, viewers, this is the last Forgotten War entry up ahead here, so take another shot for the collection quest and keep them ready, because we are completing 2 more up ahead.
And we got some pure ore harvesting here too, so we can finally tap into some of our grind set and finally mine some lyrium for the resale value.
The operation actually gives us about 30 or so silverite and a fade touch silverite and can be repeatable, so it's again just another good source for late game armor.
Sorry, I know all this armor and stat talk was probably important, but I've been distracted by the pretty blue glowing trees all around here. Maybe I'm part fly or something, because that shit is mesmerizing.
Believe me, George, the best is yet to come as far as backdrops are concerned. You can tell they went all out on the budget here. I guess that's another positive, but Inquisition always looks good all around. This really is the best Frostbite engine has ever looked.
Yes, but we will never forget what Frost took from us, Joe. It was never worth it to give up on Exalted March. Anyways, we have another collection quest done as we finally have all the gears, so take another shot, viewers.
Low-key, all those gears took forever to collect. It honestly deserves 2 shots. Please tell me we are almost done with the backtracking. I'm running out of whiskey.
What do you mean running out? You have plenty of Trump whiskey brand bottles in that box under your desk.
Joe, that shit is just for branding. It's bottom shelf to me. I only drink top shelf whiskey that costs 100 taxpayer dollars or more because I'm worth it.
That's weak sauce. Any liquor is top shelf when it's in a custom-made Dwarven Rune mug.
Well, all this liquor talk is ironic because the last shot is for the last Dwarven mug across the ocean here. So take the last shot of the episode, and now we can finally get into the last dungeon of the episode.
Wait, hang on. Are those clouds in the distance? Did we travel so far underground that we ended up in Narnia or something? Also, wait, that's another landmark up ahead. Doesn't that count as a collection quest?
Oh, fuck, you're right. I forgot about that one. Sorry, viewers, that is the last shot of the episode. Now we can move on to the plot.
Okay, I get counting is hard and all, but seriously, where the hell are we right now? This place looks so different, and it doesn't even look like we are in the same world right now, much less the same dungeon.
Don't worry, George. We are about to get one of the 2 big reveals. The game is going to explain it all.
Okay, this is about the time when the cutscenes start getting overbearing.
I think they just didn't pace out all the dialogue they needed to get through efficiently, probably because they didn't want the mystery to be solved too quickly.
Wait, the rhythm we followed. We've found the source, but not the Titan.
Also, I've said it before, but the Arcane Knowledge perk is going to come in clutch for the next 3 cutscenes. I highly recommend grabbing it if you care about getting all the lore.
We've been looking for the Titan the wrong way. It isn't like us.
It's huge, big enough to change the world around it.
We can't see the Titan because we're inside it.
Wait, hang on. That is super confusing, and I called that they are building up a twist, but did the game have to zoom in on our face and out all dramatic like that? That's the most cliche shit imaginable. It's like our editor did that scene.
I didn't notice that before, but yeah, there might as well have been the dun-dun-dun. Dropped right after the Inquisitor said it.
Guys, I get that it's pretty funny, but it looks like we are about to get ganked by more crack addicts in front of the Deep Road 7-Eleven.
Valta, there's no reason to think you or anyone is dying here. It's not like this fight is any more intense than the last dozen or so fights. It's literally 3 guys and you're an immortal NPC.
I mean, we have all seen your performance in the Deep Roads, Obama, and given your 2.5 death average per episode, it's understandable to be a little worried about how well this is going to go.
So you're telling me you can't count your own dice rolls when we play D&D and have me or Obama count them, but you just did a semi-complex mathematical formula to find Obama's average deaths? That's some next-level petty bullshit, Donald.
That's kind of what we are all about here, George. It comes with the territory. Anyways, I can understand most of what's going on, from entering the elevator to entering the Titan and seeing a lot of lyrium and water, but how are there plants, clouds, and cities inside a Titan? It feels like that would be really uncomfortable.
I mean, even if they are uncomfortable, they are massive creatures whose size isn't really measurable for our minds to imagine. I guess the Titan doesn't even feel the plants and buildings inside it. As for the clouds, well, all they need to form is water and the right hot and cold temperatures as air rises then cools. I guess what that means is a Titan's body has hot and cold temperatures.
Could there be a whole civilization in here?
A city within a Titan.
You know what I more so would like to see is this Titan City for myself. I mean, it's cool to talk about it, but I have eyes and I want to see it instead of the game teasing about it.
That's fair, you're just telling us how incredible this city is. Why not show us firsthand? Also, I'm starting to see what you all are talking about with the non-stop cutscenes. It hasn't even been 2 minutes of gameplay, and here we have another one.
Yeah, but we are almost at the finish line here. Obviously, we have this plot reveal, then the final boss, then we are locked in to end the episode. There's a light at the end of the DLC tunnel.
Yeah, and unlike Mark of the Assassin, we aren't going to take 20 minutes to finish the final boss. I know exactly what we have to do, and I saved my resources for just this moment.
But where is it? Unless... lyrium. The Titan's blood is lyrium.
So get this, Donald, if lyrium is blood, and lyrium is what Templars take to use their powers, that means all Templars are basically blood mages, and just like blood mages, they get addicted to the power the blood has.
I mean, in the strictest sense of the term, Templar magic is blood magic. It's using blood to enhance your abilities past what they can normally do.
Fuck you, no it doesn't. I refuse.
So if the dwarves are mining and selling blood instead of a mineral, wouldn't that basically screw over all the circles and the dwarves if the truth came out?
It would, but I don't believe this discovery ever comes to light for that exact reason. Plus, as we are going to find out, Titans don't really mind getting their blood taken for resources. The Titan was pissed off from something entirely different.
Holy fuck, did the Titan just kill the only other dwarf in this dwarf DLC, because that is some bullshit.
I think we have more to worry about than if Volta is alive or not at the moment, George.
Final boss time, Obama. Let's see your moves here.
Wait, hang on. Didn't Donald already kill this thing last game?
No, George. That thing was red, and this thing is blue. It's totally different.
Gee, thanks for letting us know, Cullen. But we're kind of busy at the moment, asshole.
All right, so this is one of the more difficult fights in the series. I think I originally said this was in the top 5, but after playing through the entire series, I'm going to retract that. This might be the hardest fight in Inquisition, but there's plenty of fights in Origins and Dragon Age 2 that beat it out in terms of difficulty. The main challenge with this fight is all the new mechanics. Obviously, it has these tendrils that attack melee fighters, and for ranged fighters, he has a strike attack that kicks them off the balcony and drops them to 1 health. He also has an ability on a specific timer to summon spikes everywhere and damage everyone who doesn't run away from the spikes, which honestly is a pain because controlling multiple squad mates in Inquisition is tedious since you can't highlight all squad mates in this game and have them move together. All this combined to say you can't win this fight conventionally. There's 2 ways you have to take him down.
I remember using my Mage Inquisitor the one time I did finish this DLC. I used a glitch where I was on the edge of one of the pillars where the boss couldn't hit me. Then I just spammed haste and lightning attacks, and 10 minutes later he was dead and my Inquisitor never took a hit.
That's option 1. I'm curious, Donald, do you know option 2?
Nice fall by the way Obama, way to defy gravity and cement our expectations. The other way to kill this thing is way simpler. You get lightning runes on your 2-handed Reaver weapon or your rogue weapons, and you damage the ever-living fuck out of this thing right on that stupid blue nub right here and kill it before it has time to slowly kill your team with attrition.
Oh, really? You're laughing? A man is struggling here, and that's funny to you?
Barry, when you get knocked down 3 times in a row and then you back up a 4th time, causing yourself to fall, then yeah, that is pretty goddamn funny.
I think I said something about heavy foreshadowing, and it looks like my prediction is finally coming true. Our 2 elves are getting force pushed off the ledge every minute, Cole is getting clapped by the tendrils, and Cassandra can't do enough damage to really matter here.
Well, I would just ask all of you to check the health bar here before you write me off that quickly. This thing is almost at half health. I may have used up my potions, but I have ultimates ready and a healthy squad. It will be close, but once he gets to about 1/3 of the health, I will activate my ultimate and clap up this boss just to keep things interesting. I know everyone here was praying for some last-minute screw-up, but ever since the darkspawn left, these fights have gotten easier.
Easier is subjective, Obama. You literally almost got squad wiped to the arcane horror like 2 minutes ago. Plus, the egg and the anxiety ghost are already dead. And if you get pushed off one more time, you are cooked.
Yeah, I'm playing the game too, Donald. I know the issues and I know how to prevent them, but there's no issues right now, and we are locked in for that win. And I will still have a good window for my final episode to win this competition. You know, as long as I avoid, oh God, fucking, fuck, flip, flap, pap, pap.
Well, now we just have Cassandra left. I'm not an esports athlete. Hell, I'm closer to an e-girl than a pro, but I don't think your win con involves only your waifu being alive.
I tell you boys, my foreshadowing powers are unmatched. Once I join full-time, you're all going to come correct.
Shitta. Okay, maybe if I can pick up Cassandra's husband, I can activate my ultimate dash around and finish this fight easy money. Hell, if Cassandra can, okay, never mind, but if I can just use hail here, fuck it all. That's it, where's my calculator?
Oh shit, bro has got his math textbook out, and the teacher didn't even say what page to turn to yet.
Something about his eyes is getting serious. I wouldn't be laughing right now, boys.
Carry the impact force squared with K over 3 times mass and velocity, and adjust for resistance. The drones won't seem harmless. Multiply the impact force, measure K over 2 times mass and velocity, and adjust for trajectory control. The drones won't seem harmless. Carrying mass and airspeed above this bastard's head, accounting for the ballistics paradox, and you're goddamn dead.
See, what did I tell you? Just because you do some weird math in your head doesn't mean that you can just snap your fingers. What the hell is happening right now?
Sweet mother of pearl.
What the hell happened here?
See, I was trying to have a fun episode, keep things nice and casual in this series, but Solas in this DLC wanted to screw with me. Now I had to use about 50% of my game knowledge to blitz this boss. Thanks a lot, you Titanic-sized dick.
Wait, that was only 50%?
Wait, all that math and death distracted me from the fact that they baited us on if Valta is dead. Thank God, looks like she is getting up and shaking off that silly life-threatening injury, though you love to see it.
Stop!
By the goddess. Oh wait, wrong game.
Yeah, not only is she alive, but she has biotics now and has embraced eternity. You love to see it.
All right, I appreciate the Mass Effect jokes because we came full circle with Valta being voiced by Liara, but behind the jokes, this scene actually mind-fucked me a little the first time I saw it. Seeing a dwarf use genuine magic opened up a whole new world of lore theories for the series, before they just settled on dwarf magic be just stone bending and slight clairvoyance.
Yeah, I have to give my glorious Scout Harding's powers more credit than that. They should have been shown off in her kit more, but they are pretty cool none the same.
It was hurting you.
It was chaos. The rhythm I followed here, but magnified, overwhelming. But it is gone.
You cast some kind of spell. That shouldn't be possible.
It wasn't a spell.
I know this is fantasy, and we have to be more concerned about the lore implications, but honestly, the way she is acting, I wouldn't be shocked to hear that she was actually just tripping on the premium lyrium supply, and she used powers similar to Templar powers when they use lyrium.
You may be injured, or...
I feel better than I ever have. Stronger, more alive. The stone is silent. The rhythm has faded, and so have the tremors. But the song still echoes. It tells me things. The breach, that's what disturbed the Titans.
So wait, let me get this straight. The Titans were dead and silent because of something the egg did. But then they woke up from the breach and started causing earthquakes because of something the egg also did. And yet people still want to defend this guy?
Saying Solas did the breach is maybe being too hard on the guy. Corypheus was the one who did the ritual to open the Fade.
Legally, Joe Solas gave him the instrument to do it. He could be found guilty of aiding and abetting if nothing else, which means he is guilty of silencing the Titans, then disturbing and waking them back up. They were mad at the lyrium mines, since now that they were awake, they objected to harvesting their blood, or at least this one Titan in Ferelden did.
You said you were a child of the stone, not a child of the Titans.
I am not certain what I am, but the Titan recognized me, like a parent hearing its child's voice.
Actually, hang on, the Titans were made tranquil, right? And the breach woke them up because it's the pure concentration of the Fade. Did the breach temporarily detranquil a Titan, similar to what happened with Justice and Carl, and that's why all of this happened?
Press F for the homie Carl.
Huh, that's actually a good point. I didn't think of that. That would make the most sense, although why the Titan didn't die down after the breach was closed, the same way Carl did, is another mystery. I suppose it's possible Titan brains just work different, and that interaction with the breach almost fully cured the Titan, not just temporarily. All of this, though, is questions we won't know, and likely never will.
I am staying here.
The Shah Bratal killed Lieutenant Wren, and they're still down here. Aren't you afraid?
No. I am pure.
So Ren died because the crack addicts didn't view him as pure, and now Valta is over here spouting that she is pure and will be protected? I guess you really do either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself as a villain.
Yeah, I'm glad she is alive and maybe a little mage-pilled now, but I am kind of concerned about her personality shift. This DLC really goes from high action and lore yaps to the horrors of the dark and unknowing.
Yeah, we might as well just have had the final boss be a lyrium marker and have the big rock guy throw a bunch of lyrium zombies with knife arms at us shouting, "Make us whole."
I mean, the Shabritol are basically zombies if all they do is eat lyrium and attack people. It's basically zombies but with tools.
Could be turning you into a Shabritol, or worse.
The Shabritol turned themselves into monsters. I have changed because the Titan willed it. The mine's collapse, Ren's death. It all happened to bring me here.
After all we have seen, you wish to be alone to commune with this creature?
She's singing, sighing, slipping through the silence.
Just one last bit of slander against the egg. I noticed he is staying real quiet about what Valta will do here.
Well, Valta can't be convinced against this decision, but that doesn't mean this is the last we will ever hear from her. Although, as always, we will leave with more questions than answers.
Wait, we meet this girl in the next game? I don't remember that.
Just wait for it, George. It will make sense when it happens, just like everything else in this series.
The Shaperate in Orzammar will want to know what happened to you.
Tell them the truth. You don't know.
Let's go.
Now let's all walk away dramatically and get one more aura farming moment.
Damn, all these little guys were just cooking and aura farming while we were doing all the hard work. How are we going to break it to them that their leader got ended by dwarf on dwarf crime?
That's the neat part. We don't.
Butter my balls, Harding, and say the line, "It's been 7 years since I've seen you."
It's only been like 2 hours.
He always comes back. Pay up, Salroga.
Well, that calls it for the peak dwarven story of descent.
Holy hell, our team is absolutely covered in strawberry jelly right now, Obama. You better take a long rest and heal them bitches up.
Don't worry, George. There's no more combat this episode. Before I wrap up, though, I do want to show off our fully upgraded camp. With the completed mug collection and all, there's also one war table quest I want to show off as well, to put an end to this story and enhance the mystery.
Come on already.
It has to deal with Ren, though.
Aye, let's go. We can give at least one of my favorite characters a proper burial.
All right, so after we returned to the surface, there was a cry coming out across the cavern that wasn't a beast or a darkspawn. We can try to investigate the source of that cry, and Leliana, with a small scouting team, is the best to do it. Unfortunately, though, we can't seem to find Valta, as she has likely retreated deeper into the Titan, and more disturbingly, Ren's gravesite has been disturbed, and his body is missing.
She captured the body so that she could have some dwarf alone time with it.
Dear God.
Looks like the entrance to the final dungeon has been sealed up too, with no way to reach it even with pickaxes. I guess Valta really wants her alone time.
Well, maybe my homie Ren will come back thanks to dwarf necromancy. I can live with that. Do you want to close us out here for now, Obama Llama?
Sure thing, George. Viewers, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comment question on your favorite lore point on the dwarves. Our editor reads everyone and features his favorite next episode. We also have a Discord to join a chill Dragon Age community that Fox is active on. And if you want to support us in a more personal way, we have a YouTube membership and Patreon where you get access to episodes a day early and a shout out. Thank you as always to our Commander tier members, Normandy 1998, Zachary Waller, Chant Smith, John Damon, Fraziano, Variant 1872, Jack Kosu, Nerd and Proud, Spartan Nerd 17, and George Gale. Next time it's Donald's turn to go on the DLC grind, so stay tuned. But for now, stay safe, Obama out.